Somebody's eating food.
Munch, munch.
Nom, nom, nom. Hail adventurers, and welcome to the 109th episode of Dirty 20 in the Evening of the Drama and Adventure. We call it D&D Podcast. This is your Dungeon Master for the evening, and once again I'm joined by my colourful cast of characters. Today we don't have Maya, for she is on a road trip to secure equipment. Stuff.
Not dodgy at all. All above board.
Yeah, I feel like leaving that sentence there may have been a mistake. Yeah, she's currently driving, so she cannot join us today. Obviously, Hayden is having his one-on-one sessions as Alistair is not with the group, but hopefully he will be back shortly. Just all depends on how those sessions go forward. But other than those two missing members of the group, everyone else is here. And before we start the game off today, we will go through with our regular round of shout-outs. I think, maybe, full disclosure, I think three of us are a little under the weather, maybe.
Sus.
Yes, so bear with us tonight. Anyway, I guess, Mitch, do you wanna kick things off?
Yeah, sure. Shout outs, let's do that. Mondays 7 PM till 10 PM BST GMT +1 we do Star Wars Edge of the Empire. Last week we did an awesome little evil one shot. This week, tomorrow, we're back to our regular show as the party are doing a heist on the icy planet of Hoth. It's going to be a good time. Yeah, that's tomorrow. Me, Jay, you and Sam. It's good fun. If you like Star Wars and TTRPG, you'll probably enjoy that. It's good fun. And also I stream on my own channel, twitch.tv/LambetRain. And there I play lots of Dead by Daylight and other games, and it's fun. So go ahead and follow me.
This energy in the
Back
studio.
to you.
Back to you in the studio.
I was about to call you Gaiac there. Sam, how about you? What do you do?
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Sam JKP on YouTube and Twitch. As always, play a lot of Pokemon. It's a good time. It's a good time. You should come and
Is it a good time?
Yeah, it's a good time. It's just a good time.
Just out of curiosity, is it a good time?
It is a good time.
Oh, nice.
I don't know whether I'd ever told you that before, but good time.
It is a good time. A good time. Jay,
Me?
would you like to shout out Mayor?
Mayor, oh
Please.
yeah, so do you like running around listening to well, I've got a game for you and a person who plays it very well. She's got a crippling Genshin Impact addiction, and go on, get onto Animea. She does things where she runs around as kooky cartoon Genshin. She's very fun. Very nice. Enjoy.
This is the most professional opening that we've ever done. Genshin!
Oh, my cheeks hurt. Oh.
Thank you, Jay.
Salute.
Other than those wonderful people and their channels, we also have a Discord. If you want to check out some of the maps and handouts that I give to the players in the games, I want to talk about role-play games in general, or if you want to be updated with some extra games other than our Sunday ones, that is the best place to go. Get a better experience by joining that and finding out more information. Yeah, it's in the chat. The energy
is
outstanding in the studio today.
You can also check out some of our socials, including our TikTok, which is pretty pretty great. Other than that, I think that's everything, right? Does anyone else have anything they want to shout out or announce before the game? Alrighty then. I guess without further ado, we should delve into today's episode of Dirty 20. So, previously on Dirty 20, the battle at Durnstead University is over, and Ferra Carta nurse their wounds. With the corpses of 2 Illithids in their possession, the time for knowledge had come. Despite a victory, you knew that the fight was hard won, and facing up to a whole lot more Illithid would be extremely dangerous. Having the bodies dissected, you were given an insight into how they worked, and saw some potential weaknesses. As for the patients, the true nature of their comatose state remained a mystery. Eridel attempted to connect with their minds, hoping that they might be able to deduce if tadpoles were present. In doing so, she came to a conclusion that no additional voices or presences were in their heads, and the screaming had subsided. After contacting a number of your allies and acquaintances, you undertook some research regarding a name you had heard, presuming it to be part of Shrezkist. However, no result turned up for you. Your next plan was to talk to the students that had been part of this expedition to the ruins along the coast to the south. Hopefully answers would come from there. And that is where we pick up this week. So, Ferra Carta. We'll say that for the sake of picking up in a good place, you've congregated in the middle of that circular library building. The sort of tables and group study area that makes up the centre of the space. We'll say that you're kind of congregated there, perhaps around a table where you've been discussing the results of your research. So what would you like to do?
Ewan?
Hello?
What time is it?
Oh, I
Oh,
didn't
yeah,
hear you.
yeah,
I
yeah.
did say it really
Oh.
fast. I was like,
Ah, yeah, didn't hear.
Oh, what time is it?
yes.
Let me double check. I believe it will be around midday. Okay, not quite midday, slightly after. After you because you got up and did some investigating, and then your research took a few hours. So we'll say that it's getting to probably mid-afternoon. You know that in this region of the coast, at this time of year, you've probably got a couple more hours before darkness sets in. You kind of estimate it to be around like 3 p.m.
Okay. Cool. Didn't someone want to do some research?
We're in the library. We did some research, right?
Didn't you want to do some more?
We wanted to question.
Yeah,
students.
people who had been to the on that
Yes, we were
skirt,
going.
or whatever you call it, the trip.
I think we were trying to organise, or at least Kensei was trying to organise with the dean
Talk
to get
to
all the
the.
staff together and see who was missing, and then through who was missing, deduce who the Illithid were impersonating.
Yeah, that's as well. Yes.
Who do the students first?
The archaeology.
Yep,
You're
that's
right,
the word. Yep.
Archaeology. I don't like
Archaeology.
Archaeology.
archaeology. Student.
Is that investigating ancient laws?
Yeah. I mean, we're knights, right? We don't have to ask for permission from the dean. Could we not just like go to their class and be like, "Yo, we need to speak to you"?
We're not knights to David.
We don't.
They're not in class. They're all in lockdown, aren't they?
Oh yeah, that's true. So we'd have to find out where some of them are, or we'd have to find a way
Yes.
to gather. And we might as well go speak to the dean then.
Or we could just get the team to gather them all.
That's what I mean. Let's go find the dean.
Yes.
All right. So, in which case, leaving the library, you're going straight to the dean's office. You say? Okay. So, straight out the library towards the dean's office in the admin building, heading up the flights of stairs to the hallway, of which you know leads to the dean's room. As you get there, you are kind of allowed inside by the secretary there, and as you step through, you can see the dean is kind of sat behind the desk, and seems to be like filling out a large stack of paperwork. What would you like to do as you enter?
Good afternoon, or evening, kind of.
As you step in and say this, he seems to be so like buried deep into whatever he's writing and kind of filling out that you almost startle him as he kind of licks up. Oh. Afternoon. Please
Yes.
sit down.
We were wondering if is everything all right?
Lots of forms to be filled out.
Can imagine. We were wondering if we could speak to the students here that study archaeology.
I'm assuming this pertains to your investigation.
Yes.
Might I ask why?
They recently went on an expedition to where was it? Where was it again?
It was on the coast of David, near the something or other shore.
Years or something, right?
These. Let me get the name of it.
Was it Razor Reef?
Yeah. Oh no, no, I don't think it's the Razor Reef, but it's something similar. You're right.
It was.
I know it's
Here we go. Here we go.
Oh, my map's no need to read it.
Along the fjords of Ranu.
That's the one.
What were they doing there? God, I feel like did I black out
Yeah.
last episode? Jeez.
It was an old ruin there of the dwarven design. Pretty sure James, the professor, took students there on an excursion some months ago.
Aye.
Professor Drafe.
Yes. I remember accepting the request to send students there on an expedition. Field trip of sorts.
Do you remember Which students went there?
It was, I believe, second years. I can have the names given to you, if you so wish to interview them, but I must ask you to be considerate for what they're currently going through.
Of course.
Of course, yes, we do understand what they're going through. It must be hard to digest.
Indeed. I'll get you the names.
Thank you.
Might I inquire as to what you believe the relevancy of this expedition might have been?
Professor Drake was one of the first to go missing, as well as one of the students.
Professor Drake is still here.
Oh, no, I mean,
James.
Matthews,
Yeah.
sorry.
Yes.
I got
Yes, James Matthews
my message crossed.
and Lilith Sinclair, both. Lilith Sinclair was one of the archaeology students.
Yes. And Professor Drake was there accompanying, correct? I've been informed.
The two of them took the students on a trip.
Where could we find him?
Professor Drake.
Yes.
I would assume he is locked down, much like the other staff, who are non-essential at the moment. Likely in his room,
Would be beneficial
or within our admin building at least.
to talk to him as well. We have to chase every lead. We're going to make sure that this doesn't happen again.
Of course, I understand. Right, well, I'll have the list of names drawn up as quickly as I can
Thank you.
and have them sent to you. Is there anything else I can help you with?
Can I see what papers he's writing?
Yeah, you can glance over. Roll me a perception check. Let's
Oh
just
my
see.
gosh, I don't even have my sheet open. I'm a noob, but
No, noob.
Nope.
you're a noob.
You do.
You're a noob. Uh-oh, I think we might just got a new inside joke.
Yeah, noob.
You're a noob.
Perception. 27.
27, bloody hell.
Like- You see the
Expertise,
small print.
baby.
You can tell. You can tell that the paper is like from like processed birch tree. Birch, I meant birch. It doesn't matter anyway. Yeah, you glance over at the stack of papers. You can see that they are a mix of a few different things. Some are like letters to parents, informing about the situation. You can imagine at the moment
Good.
there's a lot of what's the word I'm looking for? Like saving face currently going on
Yep.
at the university. There are some legal reports given the fact that a fight took place on the campus. And there kind of seems to be like a mix of different forms to do with the current situation. But nothing seems like something nefarious. It looks like standard procedure.
Okay. Good to know that he's
You can imagine.
getting the word out though. Like I asked. Good.
I must ask. You seem to be, obviously, the only ones of true expertise in what was uncovered in the abandoned wing. In your opinion, are the students here safe?
No. No one is in particularly safe. Not until they're all dead. You saw it in that courtyard. They're not going to beat around the bush. There is a lot more.
That doesn't quite answer my question, unfortunately. Right now, are they safe?
No.
Do you believe these things could return?
I do.
For those they were testing on, it's very likely. I've recommended that you...
You recommended what?
I recommended that
Can
guards
you guys
were-
hear Jack?
I can hear Jack. Yeah, you got muted.
Oh, sorry, I might have.
I was gonna
turned
say-
this volume down.
that's why-
Sorry,
that's
I'm
why-
so sorry, Jack.
That's why
I
I
heard some
stopped talking.
background sound, so I pulled the sound down, and then it must have been so low that it just fucking.
I thought I would mute
cut you
myself again. I was
completely
like,
off.
Hi,
Sorry
guys.
about that. Go on, Jack.
am I dead?
Sorry,
Patrick
go
Swayze. What's that? Oh yeah, it's like this actually is a jumping off point for another discussion. These creatures, they do have the ability to assume the shape of other living beings, and there were 3 of them here. It's entirely possible they may have been impersonating either students or members of the staff. If possible, we'd like a full roster of the teachers working here and anyone who is currently not here.
Alright, that could be arranged.
Do you have
Oh,
a
Uh-oh.
Bitch. Oh no.
Oh, you're a robot, Mitch.
uh-oh.
The computer virus has infected Mitch.
Oh, you could be a
Oh,
robot.
wow.
Oh,
That's
that was...
very robotic.
Oh my goodness. Oh
Mitch-
my goodness.
Mitch stopped the exe.
It has stopped working.
Oh no, he's in pain.
Type what you want to ask, and one of us will ask.
What is happening to the internet over there? Oh my god. Oh my god. I've got to get a photo of that. I've got to get a photo of it really quickly. Oh.
My motive is changed.
Oh my goodness.
Oh
Oh,
dear.
Oh, there goes
Oh
one.
dear. Oh, he doesn't even remember what he wanted to say.
Oh no.
Oh no. That's so painful.
Well, if it comes to you, you just come back and find the dean.
Well, mate. I was just saying to him then, it's like, as for the technology in the abandoned wing, as far as we understand, it needs to, the creature needs to have a certain mental acuity in order to be able to activate the devices. They didn't respond to any of us. And I'll gesture to the people who are actually here, not the one person who is here.
Mhm.
So, as far as I understand, if those creatures do come back, it is possible they could be used again, but we could always just... If you don't think there's going to be more information to glean from the technology, we could always cave in the wing, though I would recommend researching it first.
As you said yourself, whatever technology it is, even the brightest minds here have no inkling on what it is or how it works. If destroying this technology might dissuade these monsters from returning, then that seems like a decision I'm leaning towards more so.
I think give it a bit more time to glean whatever information can be gleaned, and only when you're absolutely certain there's nothing else to glean from it, then I think it might be best to cave it in. We tried to, some of our party attempted to destroy it. It's rather sturdy material. It might be better to just destroy the entire wing.
I was hoping before anything like that does happen, we have somebody we'd like to show said equipment and the corpse as well.
Yes. Out of character. Gorilla?
Yes.
Okay, cool. I was trying to remember that for a sec.
Who might this individual be?
I
With you?
think in the previous session I did go about. Me and Arya went about warning the dean and others that Aurilla would be coming.
I think you mentioned, you said that you wanted to mention it. I'm not sure if you got the chance to do it.
It was while they were doing.
Oh, yes.
While Storm was doing messages. I went up and did it.
Yeah, you're right, yeah.
Her name is
yes.
Aurilla of House Heli. Stellarian.
No, this is the one that you were talking about earlier.
Correct, yes. We think she might have some insight into what they could have been doing to your students and professors.
Usually it is against policy to permit strangers, but given the situation, it sounds like the right decision.
Yes, we ought to make sure we learn as much as we can.
Of course. I will keep our brightest minds working on this strange technology. If we find anything, we'll be sure to inform you.
Thank you.
Is there anything else that you require of myself or the university?
Actually,
We do have a lot of paperwork to get through.
just to, I don't know how the hierarchy of. Are we technically in Valoom or Dayford?
You're in Dayford.
But this is a shared site between Dayford and Valoom.
Not really. It is a Dayford University,
Little
but it was
more,
founded by Val-Aeria.
Okay. In that case, never mind. Yeah.
Zuko snaps from staring out a window, daydreaming. Oh.
The clouds look so pretty.
Do you have a list of people who had access to the abandoned ward? Or was it off limits to all?
It was sealed away after the initial teams came back and passed. The entire wing was sealed up. No one was permitted out, in or out. One moment, there's a creaky window that I need to fix. It's really annoying me.
That's what I was staring at.
Ken says that basically asked for a list of everyone that we would need to
Ouch.
look into anyway.
Yeah, sounds good.
Well, I must remember to move that bookcase. I keep walking into it every time I come back from the window.
Oh, but I realized something. We didn't
What?
warn guard about the potentiality of more creatures down there.
Oh, yes.
Probably quite urgent, actually. We might need to go do that.
Probably not that your security know. There's some kind of giant worm things crawling around in the abandoned ward.
The rest of the ward has been searched by the teams last night. They didn't find anything else, but they did find some deflated mash of flesh.
That is the worm.
Presume that is what you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Also, like ghosts confirmed. It's haunted.
Haunted confirmed.
Friends around the campus. Hashtag ghosts confirmed.
Ghosts. There may be
I'm
a...
not sure this is an appropriate time for such jokes.
It's no
No,
joke.
it's
seriously.
not.
Forgive me, I know no better. I'm a fool and an idiot.
That's why we're like.
Well, you've been very helpful, Mr. Dean. Sir.
Please call me Professor Dean.
The Dean!
Professor Dean! Professor Dean, man, bro.
I like both my job titles in my name, thank you. Anything else to read? Oh, Storm. The messages, how did they go?
The messages, yes. Have to read. Well, Aurilla said she would not be able to come. Not quite yet, I think. Not sure. Who else did we miss?
Did you make sure Theodore knew everything? So that he can update Queen about the situation here, about, I don't know, their views on the elves?
I informed. I don't think I said anything about the Stellarian, the Golden Empire, but I mentioned the situation. Actually, yes, I told them about the camp and the bodies.
And just I only checked because if we're going to speak to Sindri at some point, I think we should make sure they know before we do.
Well, it seems like we have to hold off on that. Sindri wants
Oh,
us to go
no,
to him.
Sindri, I think we'll get to him eventually, but we have other things first.
I agree.
If this conversation
No, sorry.
is not for myself, then I would kindly ask that you take this.
Yeah, we'll
inside.
leave. We'll leave.
I have a lot
Standing
to
in front
get
of him.
through
Welcome to Ferra Carta. Alright.
Okay. Heading out the room.
Yeah.
Where's your destination?
Well, we've got to wait around for those names to be got to us, so I guess we've got some time if anyone needs to do anything.
Go to the well. I think we should go to the area where the professors and staff live. Try to find this Professor Drake. I think he's our best lead.
I mean, sure. We can do that now. I mean,
That's the only name we have so far, right?
Correct. Yes, he was present on the trip.
should we go to the staff rooms then? Maybe see if we can. I don't know if they've got names on them. I assume they've got offices. See if we can find him.
The actual rooms that they're staying in don't have like the living quarters don't have like names on them, but the office spaces do. If that's what you're looking to do.
I mean, the office might be a good start because they say that there'll be names on the doors. So
Sure. Very well. I'll say as you head out, you can head out of the dean's office. With the secretary, you could probably get the specific room number for whose office, might I ask?
Professor Drake.
Okay. You're able to get the specific number for Professor Drake's office space, and that will take you in a similar space towards where the dean's office is, on that side of the admin building, a few floors down. Just kind of along a very standard hallway with numerous other offices with placards on the on the doors, denoting the names of various lecturers, and you kind of get the impression that the office spaces here are kind of segmented by subject matter and schools. Eventually, you find yourself in one side of the hallway, coming up past the room, a door, bloody hell, that reads James Matthews on it, and then after that, Professor Brathdraith. The door is closed, but the placard is on the door.
Hello? Anyone in there?
Who is it?
And no one gonna. You're not gonna say?
Who is it?
Things like Storm. You don't know us. We are Ferra Carta. We're
We're
here
Knights of Verloom. We need to ask you some questions.
Sure. One moment. I hear the chair scrape
I
on
feel
the
like we
other
should
side.
open with that.
Yeah.
You hear him walk over to the door. It opens. Kind of opens about maybe a foot. Please come in. Stands back and allows you to step in. It's a fairly small office room. It's got a window behind, a heavy set office and office chair behind. The window looking out to the front courtyard. Most of the room is made up of bookcases with a plethora of different books in there, tomes of different shades and colours, and scents that you can smell. Some are fairly old. You also see depictions of old ruins and architecture across the site. Kind of steps forward once all of you are in the room, closes the door behind, and walks back around to his chair. What can I help? What can I help you with? Sits back down. Chair creaks.
Gesture to Storm and Kensei.
We're here to inquire about the excursion you went on with James Matthews. The dwarven one. We believe
Yes,
it may
yes.
be relevant to our investigation in stopping what you must know about the creature. Or creatures, I must say.
Yes, I can tell you what I know. I'm not sure what help it will do. What do you wish to know?
First off, does it have a name?
Well, officially it's called Site J, but the archaeologists there have dubbed it the Drowned Halls. No, they found it funny.
The Drowned Halls.
Yes.
That's ominous.
Yes.
I presume its namesake is from the fact that a lot of it is
Under
submerged under the
So it was
coast.
Sword Kiss. Wasn't that how partially submerged?
It was.
She's, I assume from it being dwarven, being
A common
underground.
theme.
Site J.
Yes, please tell us about what you saw there.
Of course. You mentioned dwarven ruins.
That's what it was, correct? Dwarf.
Yes, there were some elements of dwarven architecture on the exterior, and at first that's what we believed it to be. It matches similar architecture found throughout the lands, but there were elements that seemed to be different. It's more of how do I put this? Pyramidic structure, whereas what we believe to be this sort of ancient dwarven architecture has a much more robust Masonic style. There's a significant change in the materials used for the construction. We actually believe that it's a much older ruin that perhaps these dwarves changed in a way or added on to. We believe there's a significantly larger site down there.
I believe it's a reclamation of an older.
Quite possibly.
Interesting.
The external element is dwarven, but we were taken by surprise, or the archaeologists at the time were taken by surprise. The entrance to the ruins themselves are flanked by these large snake folk statues.
Oh. Like.
Which we have seen elements of, particularly along the scale skin borders.
Hold on, have you explored that territory? Do you know? Would you say you know any landmarks or sites? We have a name. We're wondering if it.
If you wished, you could pass it to me. I'm happy to see if I can divulge any information on it.
Went by the name of what is it? Didn't write it down. It's in the chat.
Well, the name that we found.
Yeah,
Raz. I can't
Raz-
pronounce it. Razazan.
Razazan.
Thank you.
I can't say that
Razakzan?
the name is familiar.
Interesting that he said snake people, though.
Mm.
We've seen snake people figures at a different ruin.
That was where you found the armor.
The
Pretty sure.
The one with where we lost Frisk.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
the one with the portal to the abyss.
Kapatuiti.
Not
We
only
saw
that,
there were snake people memorabilia there.
we also like the elemental plane of water.
Perhaps it might be best to ask.
Mhm.
Sorry, what was the professor's name again?
Draith.
Professor Draith. These snake-like people. We've actually, I believe, we may have seen something similar before. Is this a species from ancient Val-Aeria?
I would assume so, yes. The information on them is very limited, but we've seen elements of ancient structures here.
Do they have a
Civilization is
name?
quite obviously does not exist anymore.
Does their civilization have a name? Or
Oh, at the moment, translating their language has been exceptionally difficult. But as best we can tell, the name that we've been able to transcribe, Yanti.
Mm-hmm.
out of character? I think that was.
We know now.
Yeah, we know.
Mhm.
Interesting. I know of races my way just disappearing. The Telkasi, for example.
I'm not familiar with that.
Predecessors, supposedly, not of the Stellarian. Not much known about them, though. They just seem to have disappeared.
Well,
seem similar, right?
how do they link though? Or
So
are we just overthinking it?
have you been to Scaleskin territories? Investigated it or any?
I myself have not had the chance to experience an expedition there. It is one of my aspirations, but I tend to. I do miss the days of delving ruins myself, but I'm much more satisfied in remaining in a comfortable environment and dissecting information. Yeah.
Were you close with James?
Close as colleagues could be. Was my assistant, one of the other lecturers as well.
Like,
It saddens me to hear about his state.
yes, my condolences. We're hoping we can find a way to aid their recovery.
Indeed, it saddens me to hear that he suffered and tortured in such a dreadful pod thing.
You, when you returned from the field trip, was
Yes.
you, no, never mind, I was just Googling it. It's close to the time of the lab explosion, correct?
The timing did coincide somewhat. A month or so after, I believe. It's hard to recall exact dates off the top of my head.
Yes, I think I did some reading, so 4 months prior.
Indeed.
Was anyone acting weird when you returned from the ruins? Any students? Any of your students?
Not as far as I could tell. We simply returned back to work. They resumed their studies. Go right ahead.
For some reason, I just don't know. I don't know about this guy. Seems honest, but you know, that's what they all like seem.
They all seem honest till they're not.
Yeah. Oh
To,
yeah.
oh wow. Okay.
Also, add into that, knowing what it's like people being mind control, any like telltale signs. That's gonna might throw in in case he's
21.
In case he's a thrall.
Okay. I mean, it's difficult to tell like if someone is a thrall. I suppose you could like
Now we know everything.
if it was like in the case of like being like mind controls. I suppose you might be able to tell some like signs, but you don't get that impression. He seems of his own mind. I guess you get the impression that
He has hopes and dreams.
that he's like that he is Professor Draith. If that makes sense.
Yes.
But you gauge something's off.
Oh.
Like you don't know what it is. It's hard to tell exactly what it is, but something's a little bit off.
I'm
Something to do with me
gonna-
saying
You get the feeling that he might be telling the truth about other people, like not seeing anyone else like acting strange, but there's something that you feel a weight behind those words, and you can see that there is a sense of anxiety across him. He's very intently like looking at all of you. Like you see his eyes switch between you fairly frequently enough, and he has this little gesture. You can see him like rub his knuckle when he's getting nervous, or like is perhaps being deceptive, or something along those lines.
Professor Drake, I implore you.
Yes, stings like storm.
Thank you. I implore you to give us the entire truth. Otherwise, I don't like the idea of what may come afterwards.
I'm not sure what you're getting at.
If we're going to truly prevent this from happening, we need anything you can tell us about the archaeology department, the students. James,
I'm not sure what else I can tell you that I already haven't. Do you have something specific?
Can I roll my own insight check to see if I notice this little knuckle rubbing tick?
Sure, yeah.
What you can see? Yeah. Go on, insight. Give me something good.
oh, not bad.
Yeah, I'd say you pick up on it as well.
Can I pick up on the specific words that Storm is saying when he does the tick? Like, what is Storm talking about when he starts doing that?
So
Again, you have to observe me.
the next thing I'd say is, you know what I'm talking about. I asked you if there's anything weird happening with the students. Anything strange after the trip. We need to know everything.
I understand your query. I've not noticed anything strange with the students.
The students. How about James?
Not with James. He seemed himself until he disappeared.
Yourself?
What do you mean?
You specifically said the students and James. How about yourself?
It was an inviting experience. I would be lying if I said that I didn't return and feel a drive to return to that sort of work, but otherwise I've returned to normal. I had to teach my lectures, tutor my students.
Enter the abandoned wing. Perhaps.
That would be difficult. It was sealed. Unless you're suggesting that I could phase through metal.
Perhaps I am.
I can assure you that I cannot phase through metal. I'm but a simple teacher, student, a guide to my young minds.
Okay.
May I ask Professor Drake, have you seen the creatures that we brought in for the dissection? The ones that were fought?
I have not seen the dissection, no.
Oh.
Nor did I see the battle.
And the creatures that we speak of, you've never seen one of them before, right?
Do it.
I can't say that I have.
Yeah, do it.
Look at that damn thumb go.
Look at that little thumb wiggling away.
Okay, then
Can the rest of us pick up on this? Can I do a perception check?
I mean, you can roll an insight check.
I
if you like.
assume-
it is going to be an insight.
I assume we would know some things up by the way Storm and
There's Storm and
Kensei are
Kensei
walking.
are acting.
I'm gonna do
Because
it.
I wanted to do something based
Oh
on.
my
Because mine's
God.
gonna be
Benefits of
shit.
not
Wow,
having
what
a
the
Nice.
fuck?
Where the
You guys-
fuck
you
is?
guys cool?
Where's insight?
Everyone's rolling great insight today.
That's actually a
Except
9.
for-
Oh, it's the only
I
one.
can't roll lower
That's
than a 9.
actually a 9.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You don't necessarily pick up on the thumb thing, but you do gauge that there's definitely a tension now in the room. That if you actually see it, You see like Storm's eyeline like drop to his hand.
I'm gonna, because I don't notice the thumb thing. That's fine. But sensing that there's like a weird vibe in the room, I'm just gonna start walking, just like hands behind back style. Just start walking around, so I'm slowly making my way behind him.
He's like, I mean, he's gonna notice you walking around.
I'm not
the
looking
room.
threatening. I'm just doing it slowly.
I mean, his eyes are drawn to you as you walk around.
No, I'm not like I'm like inspecting his office while Storm is talking.
I mean, that's definitely still gonna draw his attention.
I don't know. Yeah, I'm not trying to hide it.
No, okay, I
Yeah.
know what you mean though. I
Yeah.
do know what you mean. I'm just saying that like
I want to make him nervous. I want to make him
especially
nervous.
for those of you with the higher insights, you can see that action that Arya does certainly makes him. I wouldn't necessarily say nervous isn't inherently the word I would use. More of aware. You can see there's a hyper awareness of what is happening.
And when I get behind him, because we would know from our experience with Eridel, is there like a way to tell if like a tadpole has been put? Like, is there like a scar or anything on the back
not
of
as
the
far as
head?
you-
No.
Not that you've been told.
we did make that up though, and then now
Yeah.
Doctor knows that.
Yeah, you made it. Yeah, that was completely bullshit.
That actually might be a bit damaging as well.
Yeah,
To be
yeah,
honest.
Yeah, that you might have fucked. Like, imagine all the people with scars on the back of their head about to get executed.
It's interesting. We might have really a big domino effect there.
You might have
people-
just like created a new like hate
Superstition.
crime across
Yeah.
the.
Or people with tadpoles, they'll be like, oh, they don't have a scar, so they're fine.
Yeah.
When
Yeah.
I get
Anyway.
when I get behind him, I will just stop, and I will say, "We're doing this for the betterment of the university, Professor. You want that, don't you? We're only asking you questions that would help us in our investigation."
I wish nothing more than to see my students safe here.
Let's cut right to the chase. Arya, you got the bag?
I do.
Pass it here a second. I think we've got someone Professor Drafe might want to meet.
Oh,
I open up the bag, and I just quickly pull the Illithid head out right into his face. Just to see his,
You see, like
see his reaction. See if he.
I'm gonna say like his like as you thrust the head out, like he does stumble backwards, because he was already on the chair, but you can see like jolts on the chair, kind of like slides backwards.
I'm gonna
and
hold
hits one
it.
of the bookshelves.
Is it of recognition? Is it of? Can I see if it's enough or
I'm gonna ask you to roll me
a
another
suicide
insight check.
check?
I'm gonna get on that. Fuck it.
Yeah, I guess.
Might as well get on it.
Yeah, might as well.
Oh, come on.
Oh, come on.
I mean, I'll
Now-
give it a.
Come on.
It's really such a quick reaction. It's almost impossible to gauge, as he is staring at it.
Familiar? Grimacing visage, right? It's one you don't forget.
I think you've made your accusations very clear here. I believe I should talk to a lawyer.
Oh no. I'm gonna try one thing.
Yeah.
I just wanna, because I'm like behind him, I just wanna kind of lean down so I'm like right next to his ear.
Yep.
Students nearly died because of that creature. We're here to make sure that it never happens again. Any help you give us will be appreciated. You want to help us, right? I'm kind of doing it in a way, I want to kind of like put pressure on him. I want to try and like intimidate him.
Alright, roll an intimidation check then.
Watch me flop this. Where's intimidation? Oh!
Nice.
19. Okay.
Yeah.
As you whisper that into your ear, like he half turns his head towards you. The rest of you can see there's a fairly blank expression across his face. Seems completely unfazed by your threat.
With a 19?
Okay, if we're playing that way, you know, you will go to the dean. You definitely won't be keeping your career. So,
Based on what?
we,
What proof that you're trying to display before me? I have done nothing wrong, and you cannot accuse me of such.
please.
I took my students to an expedition, returned, and you are accusing me of working with that.
I just don't think.
Show me 1 ounce that justifies this action.
You have not been forthright with us, Professor Drafe.
And you have never withheld
I'm gonna.
things before.
Okay, I'm gonna step in at this point, and I'm gonna go in front of Storm with my back to the professor very quickly. Go, my friend, perhaps you should calm down a little. Put the head away, for goodness sake. And I'll just like. Can't say can't really wink. So
I was on the same track, Jack. I'm gonna go and take the bag off of Storm, kind of lean in and kind of just whisper really quick. Can come back later.
and I'll just I'll say I think it's a bit, and I'm saying this so that the professor can hear behind me. It's like I think it's a bit presumptuous to accuse Professor here. Yes, we do know someone was working with these creatures, but we don't know who. I think it's a bit presumptuous to jump to that it was Professor Drafe here. And I'll turn around and my apologies for my companions, Professor. They are rather quick to jump to conclusions. Like as I said, we believe that there is someone here who has been helping these creatures. As such, the dean will be conducting searches of all the teachers and lecturers' rooms within the hour. It should be about an hour or so before he gets to yours. Should have warned you that from the first set. Sorry. Anyway, we'll be making our leave.
Apologies. I just don't wish to see any more people lose their lives or minds. I thought you'd share the same sentiment.
I do.
As I said, guards will be doing a routine search within the hour, so within an hour or so. So, thank you for your cooperation. And I'll gesture for everyone to leave the room.
Let's leave.
Watches very intently as you head towards the door.
When we're out of the room and out of earshot of him, I immediately whisper to Arya and goes like, "Get the dean to send guards to his room immediately."
Wait, I have an idea.
Whatever I told him that I made a point to mention that the guards will be there within an hour. Whatever if he has any evidence that he's going to hide, he's going to do it between now and then.
Going to do
If
it
we send
now.
guards, we'll catch him in the act.
I'm going to just as soon as I leave the room. I'm gonna. Is anyone around? Is it just?
Not really, no.
I'm gonna scratch my blade.
Not in the hallways.
I'm gonna cast Arcane Eye and send it through into his room to watch him do what he's doing.
Alright. The eye passes under the door, and you can see he's just sat there behind the desk, staring at the door.
I'm gonna keep it in there and I'll watch him.
I'm gonna stay with Storm, and I'm gonna say to Storm is like the moment he does anything that looks like he's trying to hide something or gather something, signal me, and we'll signal the guards.
Yes, we don't have to stay here. We can leave.
I also think that if the guards don't find anything, I can't just break into his office and have a look around.
There is that, but my point was I was trying to catch him in the act of hiding something.
Of course, I know. I can also do it to Professor Matthews' office as well, in case he might have any notes. Later. Do this first.
Alright, so what's the plan here?
I guess a stakeout to see if he
Alright.
does make the attempt to hide in the evidence or
It stays for an hour, so I'll just keep it.
which is the amount of time I
Alright.
told him it would be before he was searched. So
Yeah.
Whereabouts are you going to do this? Are you staying around in the hallway?
Not in the hallway. I think we should move away because he sensed that we're there. I'll gesture for us to start leaving. Go out to the courtyard, perhaps.
Okay.
Or not
I don't
too far.
know.
Maybe just down the hallway. Then.
Right. You move to down the hallway then. I'll say that at the end of the hallway from where you'd come from is like a set of double doors that open into like the sort of staircase area, and there's a few like benches there and places to kind of take some seating if you wish to wait there. Otherwise, you can be more stealthy about it if you wish. It's up to you.
Do you want me to be one of the guards, or should I actually go get guards?
I think actual guards would be a good idea here.
All right. Well,
Maybe it was quick to presume, but he definitely was hiding something.
Yes, but he was right. We didn't have anything to.
No,
We didn't have anything to pin him to.
I was just trying to get a reaction out of him.
I was hoping, yes, that the Ilithid would turn something in.
I'll give it till like there's 15 minutes left on the eye, and then I'll go get the guards because I want to see if the eye catches anything.
Alright, so as you wait for that 45 minutes, Storm kind of visualising through that eye, he sits there the whole time.
Oh, he's sus. He just
That-
do nothing. Just
Hello.
staring at the wall.
He doesn't even blink.
What?
Wait, as in like
Doesn't even blink.
he does sit there
He
and
sits
doesn't.
he sits in the identical position as he looks
Yeah.
watch you leave the room.
That's gotta be an
and just
illusion.
stares at the door and just like glares at the door.
The whole 45
Barely
minutes?
moves. Every so often you think like he's like either like it's kind of like a frozen image or something, but you
Like-
do see like
Give him slight movement.
his breath kind of the rising of his shoulders ever so slightly.
Just in
You
case,
blink?
can I perceive it? Can I do a check to perceive if it is an illusion? Like, just because I know what illusions look
Roll
like.
an Arcana check, I guess.
Is he
To
blinking?
see, because you can cast illusion spells, I guess,
Yeah.
so you can like try and find
The telltale signs.
Yeah.
Arcana.
Is he blinking?
Oh yes.
No.
He's
not
blinking,
blinking.
no.
Nope. So with the 22, you've cast illusion spells before. You've been in his presence. You've kind of felt him like nearby to you.
Should have shook his hand.
Yeah.
That'd have been good.
You haven't made physical contact as far as I recall.
I got close to his ear, but that was
How-
it.
You did, and I would say, like, Aria, you would feel that you'd be able to feel the warmth, but I mean, an illusion can give sensory
Yeah.
things anyway.
Yeah.
But you did feel like the warmth of like human blood's like warm-blooded skin near you. As you look through the eye, you don't see any kind of telltale signs. There's no flickering, even like a momentary glitch in any kind of imagery. He looks real, he sounded real, he felt real. If it is an illusion, it's extremely good.
Yeah. Jeez. Oh, I know. I could try it because it could only wait. I could because the eye can't pass through physical things, but it would be undetected. So can I try just push the eye into his body to see if there's resistance? This will prove.
So if it goes through,
If it goes through him, it's
I mean, it's an illusion.
illusion. Yeah.
Right, okay.
Yeah, I don't think the eye is like a.
So you want to try and make physical contact with him with the eye?
Uh,
That's it. I think it would go.
No,
Can
because
you send me the
the
thing of the
eye,
spell?
because it says the eye can't pass through walls. It has to
It
have
can't-
a 1-inch gap. So I assume there'll be resistance if I tried to touch it against him.
The eye. You can move it up to 30. No, but it can't enter another plane of existence. A solid barrier blocks the
Okay,
eye's
yeah.
movement, but the eye can pass through an opening as small as 1 inch. Guess it's up to you and to decide.
Yeah.
That is it's a very specific thing. Solid barrier blocks the eye's movement.
So the idea, I'd probably tap it against his. Like I would have. Tap against his shoe.
I think the way in which that it's written is supposed to be that it's so that you can't move it through objects
or
to see on
walls.
the other side.
Yeah.
So it has to have a gap to be able to move through into another space. I mean, you're not wrong in that, you know, if you had it, you'd know, like, if you try to move it through a wall, it's obviously not going to work.
Yeah.
And you kind of know, well, that wall is
Solid.
Is real.
Yeah, real.
Oh man, this is a really hard one. Because it's not a physical thing. It's just it doesn't move through.
What is happening?
Yeah.
Oh,
well,
right. Okay. Okay. I'll tell you what. I think you could try and make it work.
Okay. Yeah. I know it's a bit of a left field.
It's not a physical thing, so it can't like move. What you could try to do is like imagine it trying to move in like past and into his body.
Yeah.
As a space that is blocked. So I'll say you move the eye over. I mean, it doesn't. You can't get it in.
Yeah. So he's physical. He's corporeal. He's got corporeal slippers on.
Yeah,
It's got corporeal slippers.
Oh.
Weird, he's not doing anything.
Yeah, I'm gonna train it on him again. Check for the. Oh, I'm gonna keep it on it. Keep it on him.
Is there any chance that he's noticed the arcane eye?
Not as far as you tell, Storm.
I'll also move around the room and look at. I'll relay some of this to you in hushed tone. I know we're away from him, but also look at if he's got any papers out. You know, was he doing some writing? Was there anything in the room that is visible to the eye?
I was gonna do that when I was in there, but forgot. Good idea.
Sorry, what was that? What was that again? Sorry.
Also, I'm going to look around if there's any papers that he's got out, anything he was doing, maybe before, if he was doing anything.
I mean, it doesn't really look like he was doing anything as far as you can tell.
Just sitting there.
I mean, the desk is immaculate. Like the pens are all kind of lined up. The quills, I guess, in this case.
He's a psychopath.
Paper, some books. Yeah. It is like perfectly laid out.
He's 100%.
I'm just gonna say, I mean, Dennis Reynolds isn't a thrall yet.
Yeah, Dennis Reynolds. This is the sort of thing Dennis Reynolds would do.
Well, hearing that he's literally just sitting there staring at the door. What do we do? The guards are going to come in and be like, what the fuck? Nothing's wrong.
Well, first of all, there are no guards. I made that up so that he would try to hide evidence.
So what do we do? He's not even doing anything.
This is Iron Will.
Which is suspicious in its own way.
I say we come back here later and we have a look around ourselves.
Unless he's still just in there sitting, staring at the door.
Oh, you're muted, Mitch.
You could take on the form of a guard and attempt to scare him.
Well, this is what I was saying, but I don't know if he's going to be very responsive if he's just sitting there staring at the door.
What if one of us just knocked and ran away?
I think he's just waiting. In that case, perhaps real guards wouldn't be a good idea. I only wanted real guards if he was trying to hide something. If he's there acting suspiciously, perhaps Aeria in disguise.
But then what will the dean say if I bring him to the dean? What? I need an excuse.
The dean will want proof. We have now.
Yeah, we haven't even talked to them yet. Let's just come back later. Let's come back and sneak into his office. I'm pretty good at sneaking into places.
If he leaves his office.
Oh, I don't have it. I don't. We could
What?
dispel magic.
I have detect magic at will, so...
Storm, could you set up a little alarm outside of his office to let us know if he leaves?
Yes, I could.
Won't he hear that, or is it just you that hears that?
I think I only hear it.
You
Yes.
can
Can you
choose.
set it up subtly?
Yes, I can. Yes, it would be.
Do it above the door instead of below it.
Yeah, I think it's kind of. I know it says it's a tiny bell, a piece of fine silver. It's magic though. It's not.
Yeah, the alarm itself is invisible, I'm pretty sure.
It is invisible, yeah.
And only you're alerted to it.
It's a mental alarm, yeah.
Okay, so that's a good
Well,
idea.
It is worth noting as well that he will be suspicious if a guard doesn't turn up within the hour. So
Yeah, so I'll go set an alarm now.
I think that Aria, your original idea to impersonate a guard might be a good idea, at least to put him in a position where he isn't suspecting anything.
So what do you want me to do when I go in there? What do you want me to say?
Just say you're there to search the room, like I said.
All right. When it feels like it's approaching an hour, I will find somewhere discreet, and I will picture Antonio in my head, and I will take on the physicality of that guard, but I will use my disguised self ring to make myself have the uniform that I've seen the guards wearing around campus.
Alright, absolutely. You go through that process as the hour basically turns up, and he hasn't moved an inch.
I will then...
You are now the guard.
I am Antonio. I'm going to go and knock on the door.
Alright, you knock on the door. Who is there?
Come to inspect your room. I was told that it was in need of inspection.
Yes, I was informed of your coming. One moment, please. Gets up. Were you doing this at the end of the hour?
Yeah, when it's been about an hour, because Kensei told him in an hour's time, so...
Alright, but I need to know, like,
Oh,
are
yeah.
you, wait until the...
Eyes gone or not?
Spell
Do you do it before, or like just a little bit before, or after the hour's gone completely?
I mean,
Sorry,
if
I just
you're
realised
not-
I was muted. I would recommend to them to do it 5 or 10 minutes before it works up,
Yeah.
just so Storm can see the
then
reaction.
that's what I do. That's what I do.
Okay, cool. So, with that little time to spare, you head up to the... head over to the room, knock on the door, and go through that. Storm, as she says this and he responds, you see him just kind of there looking at the door, blinks a couple of times.
Oh God,
Was he even aware?
Rises from the chair and walks over to the door,
he's an android.
opens it up. Afternoon, officer.
Afternoon.
Please come inside.
Thank you.
Stands to the side, closes the door behind.
Continue about your business, so won't be a moment. I'll just start inspecting the room.
Walks over to the chair again and sits down. And so he pulls a book from the pile and just kind of flips it open to a page.
Now he looks busy.
And he's just kind of looking at it and raising his eyes up to kind of watch you, Aria.
Okay.
Might I ask what you're looking for? Perhaps I can assist.
I was informed. Wait, what did you tell me to say, Jack? This is before I went in. Rewind.
It's just like one of those shows, you know, where they describe what they're gonna do,
Yeah,
and then it
yeah,
cuts
yeah,
back
yeah.
to them before.
This is like Mission Impossible, okay? We
Yes,
cut back and
yes.
forth between.
Yes. So I'm just looking for anything
I
suspicious.
mean, I would have told him beforehand, we're mainly just putting on a show so he doesn't get suspicious.
Yeah.
I did say that someone was going to inspect his room, and if no one turns up, that's going to be weird.
Yeah.
If you can find something good, but mainly we're just there to put him at ease and not make him suspicious. Also, try to be vague as possible. We don't want him catching on to what we're really looking for.
If he asks me questions, what shall I say?
Just say that it's a
Be as vague
routine
as possible.
search, like we're searching everyone's offices.
We did say that we're searching all the teachers.
Got it. All right. Just inspecting your office. We're doing everybody's, as you know. There's been an incident of late. Your office is next on the roster. But please, pretend like I'm not here. And I'm just going to look for... I'm going to go into my Thieves Guild brain and just look for anything that looks maybe a little bit odd, or it looks like he's trying to conceal something as I walk past him. Anything that looks like it might have been moved, or so, anything.
Alright, roll an investigation check.
Sassy little backer.
Oh my god, no, scroll up, not down. Investigation 19.
19, you begin your investigation, going through some of the books on the bookshelf, kind of like pulling them out and scanning through just to see if anything's hidden in them. Looking behind, there's no kind of hidden buttons or anything of that degree. You I guess head over to maybe the desk and just kind of have a little once over as he's there. It does seem to just kind of like reading and then watching you sometimes. He doesn't really make many moves, he just kind of sits in that position. You can see there's like a coat rack on one end with a few jackets on there. You can see somewhere where there's like a cane hanging on a hook. As you go around the room, everything seems pretty normal, as you would expect in a room such as this for someone that wasn't suspected of what you suspect this person of. And he certainly doesn't appear to be making any moves to conceal anything as you're in there.
Okay.
Find anything, officer?
No. No, you seem like you've got everything in order here.
I do appreciate cleanliness and organization.
Well, certainly see that. I'm wondering, shall I try and get a sneaky detect magic in there?
Ooh.
Be risky, but
your disguise is an illusion, right? Disguise self.
my clothes are an illusion, but physically I am Antonia.
Yeah, 100%, 100%.
Yeah.
I mean, he's gonna like investigate this.
Oh.
Oh no!
What's your it's versus the spell save, isn't it?
What, to detect me?
Of the ring. When you're looking through like an illusion, like such as like disguise self, I'd say the
disguise self I don't know, but as I'm a changeling, he has disadvantage.
Yes, so that would be on your physical form, though, right?
But I don't know about disguise self. I don't know how that works.
I'm gonna just look up disguise self because I do believe there is a means of looking through it the same as you would do with like an illusion.
Yeah.
If it will open up for me. So discern that you will disguise a creature can use this action to inspect your appearance and must succeed on an investigation check versus your spell save DC.
Okay.
So is there a spell save that comes with that ring?
I don't know.
If not, it will be your spell save modifier. So if you look on your item, it might say whether or not there is. Maybe I've got it in here.
Disguise self.
A ring of disguise.
Ring of disguise.
That is not the right ring. Ring of disguise. It is not. It does not have it. So you can use an action to cast disguise self.
So it'd be my spell
versus
save.
Your
okay,
yeah,
which is a 16. 16.
Okay, that's still pretty good. So he's going to investigate this. He's specifically looking at the disguise of the clothing, to be honest. Okay. You see his eyes he leans slightly forward, kind of squints his eyes a little, and notices you turn back round and turns his head away and back towards the book. Roll me an insight check.
I was gonna say, what does that mean? Even if it's shit, it'll always be a 9 or higher because of my thingy from being an inquisitive rogue.
Alright.
16.
16. You don't think he caught on, as far as you can tell. He goes back to kind of the same routine. You're not ultra confident in that, but his behaviour indicates that he's whether he's suspicious or not, he's not like actively investigating you. He's kind of keeping to himself.
Okay, I won't do detect magic. I don't wanna risk it. So I'll just when I feel like I can't learn any more from this, I'll just be like, "Thank you for your time, Professor." And if you do hear or see anything suspicious, do be sure to let us know.
I shall.
Thank you. Have a good day. Now, head out and rejoin the group.
Alright, I'd say at this point the arcane eye has probably gone off in the middle of that interaction because of how long you would have taken to kind of peruse the room. You head out the room, the door closes behind you. You return to your companions.
Guys, what is that guy's deal, huh? Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Locked as tight as a fortress.
I feel like he was suspicious of me, though. Don't know if you caught that.
He did give you an eye, but I mean, we have been pressing him pretty hard.
I say we come back later, tonight, maybe, and we sneak in, and then I can detect if there's anything in there.
Storm, did you manage to set up that alarm?
Right.
You'll know if
Where
he
are you
needs.
setting that?
Stand on his door.
Sorry, you... Okay, so you're going to stand outside his door and do that.
Does it make noise?
It's
You do it.
verbal. There is verbal.
Casting a spell will cast noise, and you know, imagine that you are sat very quietly staring at your door, and someone decided to walk up and started scratching on the floor and doing stuff. Do you think you'd hear it?
Well, we'll see what I wrote up in the chat. Sorry, I should have said I didn't want to interrupt. Elle, I wanted to do it kind of when Ari was in the room.
Oh, so like
Okay,
while we were talking, so you had a distraction.
Sure,
Okay,
give me a sleight of hand
okay.
check.
I
I'm going to make
I
you.
wrote that in the chat.
I'm going to ask you to make me a. Is it really sleight of hand? I think in this case it's going to be a stealth check.
Alfei.
There.
Because you're attempting to be quiet
Yeah,
with it.
makes sense. Let me know when you're ready. Oh no.
Come on,
It's
Storm.
Yeah. What's that?
Can I assist because I'm talking? Or I wouldn't know who's doing it.
Oh.
That doesn't matter.
Yeah,
I
it
wouldn't
wouldn't
have
be
known
an
who's doing
assist.
it anyway.
Storm.
Okay.
Storm.
Yeah.
Could I wanted to give him my little talisman.
It's too late.
Yeah, I rolled, haven't I?
He's rolled. I'm sorry, it's too late. He's already up there doing it as you kind of stop, creaking on the floorboards. I mean, you're not sure if he's noticed. He's certainly not giving a reaction to it.
This
Just to fit
motherfucker's
in
gonna
with
just
what you
sit in there all night and
He
do nothing.
literally is. Or maybe we should stake out and one of us follow him or something. See if he goes anywhere. I can be invisible.
Me too.
Oh.
How long does
cheeky.
invisibility last? Is it
An
now?
hour. So we'd have to
It's
wait
not-
until.
Yes.
What are office hours? What time do they usually let out?
I'm assuming we're not talking
I
about.
mean, probably about 6, 5 or 6,
Okay.
right? They probably.
I'm
I mean, you
assuming
can kind of
that
gauge
we're
that.
not talking outside of his room right now.
Yeah,
No,
this is.
I mean, the thing is, we'll
No,
know.
no, you are.
We'll know when he leaves anay now.
But
So it's good.
Well, no,
Yeah,
for
exactly,
8
just-
hours.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking that if he spent the entire hour just staring at that door, do thralls need to eat?
I
I
assume they would
don't know.
still need to sustain the
Would
body,
the-
correct?
No, this is the thing. If the Ilithid view them as disposable servants, do they care?
They need servants that can function.
Are you saying he'll just sit in there and rot?
Well, that's my thought. I mean, it might be worth if we can judge how long this has been going on. If he's perhaps had a change in any of his eating habits, if he's been eating less, been seen outside of his room less.
Well, perhaps we should speak to some of the students and
Yes.
find out if he's been acting strangely in their opinion as well, or if he's been odd in class, or even appearing in
Yes.
class.
Yes. Well, we need to wait for the names anyway before we can do that.
Well, we have the name of one. Oh, she's a.
She's
coma.
in. Yeah, she's
Yes,
unconscious.
that won't
But
work.
in the meantime, we could maybe do a little stakeout, see if he leaves the office, follow him.
That sounds fantastic. I do have one question. Does that mean there will be stakes?
I freaking hope so, Zuko. I could go for a steak right now.
But not like dramatic stakes, like meaty stakes.
Yes, I knew exactly what you meant.
If we
What the fuck did I
Unless
tune back
someone in
into?
this party is a vampire.
Oh, like wooden stakes.
I think in order to attract the least amount of attention, Aria should be the one staking out, since she can look like anyone.
Yes.
Well, I was just
Sounds
going to go
perfectly
invisible. But yes, I
No,
can
I mean, you can go invisible when you go into his room if you want, but I meant staking
follow
out
him?
to see when he leaves.
Oh, I see.
If
he
all
leaves,
five of us are standing outside of his door all day waiting for him to leave, he's going to think that's rather suspicious.
All right. Well,
But
I mean,
if a
if I...
random student is just walking the halls, or guard patrolling the halls, then perhaps less so.
I don't want to get her in trouble, but she's the only one I know.
Just pick NPC face.
I mean, my go-to NPC is Bluehead Girl. Bluehead.
Just use your
Unhallowed.
default skin.
My default skin, just my blue, no hair, pointy ears,
That'll be fine. No one
white
realize.
eyes.
Won't creep anyone out at all.
Won't creep anyone out. Okay, I will. Unless anyone wants to do anything, then I will kind of hang about until I feel like it's 6-ish or getting towards the end of the day. And then I will find a discreet place and I will turn into Marie.
Mm-hmm.
But then, wait, having Marie be... Wait, they were the offices, though, weren't they? They weren't the bedrooms, they were the offices.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't
Yeah,
be
those
super
were
weird for a student
offices.
to be seen there, because
Yeah,
she might be
they were
looking
for
for a
random people.
professor. Yeah. Okay, I'll turn into Marie. And wander back that way and look as if I'm looking for her professor. I don't know who that is, but yeah.
Oh, you're screwed if a professor starts
Let's
talking
go
to
to
her.
you. Yeah.
I was saying, just be rando.
Alright, well, it's what it is now.
I've already said it.
As you walk as Marie through the,
As you can check
through the
shit,
admin
someone else.
buildings, there's not many many staff members wandering around. As it gets to that sort of time, are you looking to get up there to get into the room afterwards?
I want to just like look as if I'm like looking for a professor, but whilst I'm doing that, I want to kind of walk past his room, maybe kind of just do a quick cheeky listen in to see if I can hear any movement.
Sure.
If I don't hear anything, should I just wait for the alarm to trigger? Or what if it doesn't trigger?
It might not.
What are you gonna do?
Okay, we should. Yeah. Let's just go for it because I've already said it. So I just get.
Okay, so you make your way up there.
Yeah.
Just to clarify, you said you're waiting until like
The end of the day,
people
the
start
end of the
leaving
school
offices.
day.
All right.
Yeah, what it feels like.
Sure. So, I mean, not all of the offices have people in them at this point. People kind of like you do pass others as they leave their office spaces and head down away from that part of the admin building. You do eventually get close to the room in which you know that it belongs to Professor Draith. I mean, it's not unusual that he hasn't come out at this point. As you get up to that area, what would you like to do as you approach the hallway with his door in it?
Anyone walking down it? Am I alone?
At the moment, you seem to be alone, yeah.
Okay, again, so I'll just kind of normal pace, just walk past the room. Is it just a door? It hasn't got any windows to it or anything?
No, it's just a door with a plaque on the front.
Okay, so I'll walk past, and as I walk past, I'll kind of just put an ear out and see if I can hear movement or anything.
Roll me a perception check. See what you hear.
Oh, 14.
14. You listen out. You don't hear anything untoward, or really anything, to be honest. But you're not. It's difficult to really get a gauge if he's writing in there. You might just not be able to hear it.
Okay.
You think, based on your perception check, you kind of get the gauge that you'd only be hearing something if he was like talking or doing something that's a lot more audible.
Okay. In that case, then, is there like at the end of the hallway? Is there like a? Can I like duck behind it and kind of peek round? Is there a room for me to do that?
No, we can say that at the end of the hallway, it kind of like splits off into like a T-junction.
Okay. And would his door be within... Hang on, looking up the thingy here. 30 feet?
Not 30 feet, no. It'd be a little bit more than that. I mean, the room that you were in seemed to be about 15 foot by maybe 15, 20 foot. That's a rough estimate, and there's a few more doors before it gets to him at the end of the hallway.
Okay, right. I'm gonna do what Zuko suggested. I'm gonna do minor illusion. As soon as the door is within 30 feet of me, because I don't want to get too close, I'm gonna cast minor illusion and make it sound like there's a knocking sound on his door, and then run back to so I can hide behind the corner.
Okay. You run back to the corner after the sound makes a knock. You listen out, and there's not really any kind of sound of activity. After about 15 seconds, you hear a door open. You kind of look down. You can see if you do kind of peek a glance, you can see that he's kind of like opened the door slightly and is kind of looking. Closes it. Actually, I say he opens the door, steps out into the hall, which for you triggers the alarm.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna make him roll a perception check. Roll me a stealth check, Aria. Or, it's not gonna matter. You've got a minimum of 9, right?
For stealth,
Yeah.
I have a minimum of 13.
Like a minimum. A minimum of 30. Yeah, never mind. You don't even need to roll. He glances around and then walks back in.
What's he doing in there?
What's he building?
Being sus.
He's just built different.
He is.
I would say after about... I mean, how long are you waiting? You're willing to wait
I
there?
will give it like 30 minutes.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I'd say at this point, because you've been seeing people leaving already, 30 minutes go by, and you can see there's a clock on the wall on the hallway, and as soon as the hour, the second clicks onto exactly 6 o'clock, the door opens and he steps out.
Oh my.
The door closes behind him and he just walks down the hallway.
Like clockwork.
Casually.
Sky.
He locks the door behind him, but does
Doesn't
walk
matter.
down back
That
to
would
the
trigger the
direction
alarm
that you
again,
guys
right?
had come from. It would if it doesn't get used up.
I don't think it does.
Oh, it's a shame we've got... I mean, Erido is technically with us, right?
Yes.
Can she hear the psychic whispers?
Sure. We can say retroactively that she would have set that up for you guys.
Cool.
Everyone, but I mean, she could do everyone now, right?
Can she? Everyone?
I think.
Oh, 'cause
How
we're
many,
all-
isn't it?
I mean, it was usually everyone but one person.
Right.
But I don't know if it
That
was.
was, I think, when Alistair was here, right?
All right. Well,
I'm not
she's gonna. I feel like she does this a lot, so she's gonna exclude Kensei.
Well, it would make sense that I'm in it.
Yeah, you'll be in it. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like,
It's good area.
I'm gonna say I'm actually not too sure because I feel like it was everyone except for one when Alistair was there, right?
Yeah, because she could.
So I'm gonna say that everyone else can be in it. I'm just gonna say
Okay.
everyone can be in it.
I will send down
For brevity.
the psychic whispers then. He just left his office. You want me to go in? Don't know why I'm doing that if I have an earpiece.
I think maybe follow him. I think that might be a...
We can go in. You follow, we can go in.
You guys know how to pick locks?
Well, we can enter later, but you only get this opportunity to follow him.
I
once.
can go through the lock.
Alright. I'll go invisible and I will follow him.
All right. How close to them are you getting?
Within 30 feet distance at all times.
All right. Okay, so you make yourself invisible and begin to follow them. As you do, what are the rest of you doing? Well, I tell you what. Let's make it a little bit more narrative here. So, Ari, you follow him, and he leaves that section of the admin building and heads towards where the staff rooms are, not too far away from where you guys are staying, in that same section anyway. It's not on like the same floor or anything, but that same section of the building. It's the back section of the admin building, northward. So he gets into that main area, like the main, not necessarily the foyer, but the main intersecting part of that building, and then leads into the staff space. At the point in which you leave the offices and are now in the staff dormitories, what are the rest of you doing now?
If you like, I could get into the room and unlock it from the inside.
I think that would be best thing to do. Yes.
Hopefully doors work like that.
Fingers crossed.
Shall we, or should we wait?
I think now would be a good.
Yes, I agree.
Okay. I'll head upstairs a little cautiously just to make sure no one's around.
Okay.
Make my way over towards the same office door again.
Alright, you get up to the office door. Is it just you, Zuko?
Is anyone coming with me?
I'll go with
you,
it.
yeah.
Okay, so we'll just say that those of you that wish to go, you follow up towards that area. It's almost completely abandoned now. This time, the gas lanterns have been turned off in portions of it as you kind of wander through the darkness, eventually coming to that door. It is just very dimly lit here at the moment,
Okay.
but you do get to the door.
I'm gonna just bend down and I imagine there's a keyhole where he locked it.
There is a keyhole. There is, and you can actually see through it.
I'm gonna
you can
peek
see
into the room.
office.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, you peek inside. I mean, it is dark in there. The lights are off.
I do
and
have
the
devil's
lanterns or
sight.
candles are on. You do, so you can see through darkness perfectly, basically, right?
I would double check, but I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Yeah, so you can see in magical darkness as well, but I also feel like it gives you the
You can see
opportunity
normally in darkness.
Yes, so it's like normal sight too. As you glance through, you just see the room. Obviously, it's in black and white
Yeah.
and grayscape, but you can see the room. You see the interior.
Alright.
Looks like it was when you entered.
I'll see you in a moment. And I'll cast gaseous form and funnel through the lock.
You funnel your way through as you turn into a cloud, and then your cloud form is now floating inside the room.
Puff back into myself.
You're back into your humanoid form.
Open the door. Can I unlock the door from the inside?
You can certainly try.
I'll just try to see what I can do.
Okay, roll me a Thieves' Tools check. Do you have Thieves' Tools on you?
I still have to pick it. I thought it would just open. Okay.
Yeah.
If I'll try the handle.
It's a locked door.
If not,
Yeah,
it's
locked.
I'm gonna quickly search the room for a spare key.
Okay, roll an investigation check.
I've got a much better chance of that.
Yeah,
14.
probably. As you glance, you go over to the desk. That's the most likely place for it to be, right? You search through the drawers. None of them are locked. You see papers and some books, some what appear to be like lesson plans, spare stationery. No spare key though.
Oh shit.
I've seen Aria do this hundreds of times. Can I try and use my talons in there and?
Okay, so because you don't have Thieves' Tools, I'm gonna make it disadvantage. It is a dexterity check.
Okay, I'll guidance myself.
Do you know what? I'm tempted to allow it to be a sleight of hand if that's any better, simply because you're using your fingers.
I mean,
Your
they're
talons
both the
even.
same, to be honest. My.
All right. Okay. Well, you never know. But it is a disadvantage.
Okay. And
Oh!
Wow. Okay,
23.
Still pretty great. Well, it's a disadvantage.
Oh, so
it's
19.
19,
yeah.
but it's still exceptional. You get your finger in there.
Sticks your cloaca in there, just shimmies the lock.
You
Right,
curve
what
it
do?
round to find just the right spot as you like twiddle your talon around, and eventually you hear a ah as the door opens.
I'm just standing on the other side. Oh,
You just see Gaiac crouch down with his fingers like this. That was a lot easier than I thought it would be.
I suppose I could have saved myself a spell slot then.
As you open the door from, it moans, and you are able to get inside.
I'm just gonna continue searching through the desks and reading these things a bit closer.
While Zuko's searching, I'll guidance him. He's probably better at looking through stuff than I am.
I'm also going to look through some
Absolutely.
papers, etc. Do my own little investigation. Try not to make it look, try and put things back where they came from after I've looked through them.
Absolutely.
Be as
okay.
thingy as possible. Thorough and covert about it.
Those of you that want to search around, roll me an investigation check then, please.
I will have a little search.
Nice.
Hell yeah!
Nice.
Oh, so you blessed me as well.
Yeah, you got a D4 on it.
Oh!
Oh! That's good.
Wow, 26. Okay. Guy, you're
Yeah, I rolled a 1.
yeah, you're yeah.
Yeah.
I don't really know what else to say.
He's still got his talon stuck in the door.
Yeah.
Just trying to get it out.
Talent out. Storm with the 17 and Zuko with the 26.
Hell yeah.
Chef's kiss. All right. You take a long time searching the room, thoroughly, through the bookcases, looking through.
It would be a long time. Yeah, as he asked if we take a long time.
I'm saying that to thoroughly search is going to take a fair while.
Yeah.
But you look through the books on the bookshelf more closely. A lot of them seem to be of topics pertaining to history and archaeology. Mostly for things that have been found in David. You find some notations on various kinds of ruins that have been documented around. There's a lot on the Yonti. In as much as there's a lot of tomes that have kind of either got diagrams or depictions of the various locations. There's stuff in there that seem to be attempts at translation.
Notable locations? Or is it? There's nothing there.
Not that kind of stands out to you. You do take note of one referred to as the Quatuity Ruins, which is familiar to you.
Oh yeah.
And is depicted as being in Bellinor. They all look to be from different notations. In terms of it, they don't look like his notes necessarily. The handwriting is varying. Almost like it's a collection of other notations, copies of that. You do see handwriting that is continuous throughout. Most of them are notes on the information from these books. It is a small library dedicated to that pursuit of knowledge. However, there is something that does stand out to you. Most of it, as I said, is about archaeology, history on the coast, and things of that subject matter. But there is one book that stands out to you.
It's only Zuko finds this.
Yes, to Zuko. Something just doesn't feel right as you slip this book out and look at its cover.
God.
It's not about history. It's not about archaeology. We'll find out what it is after.
Oh, you fucking you toying with my PP.
Lord dump.
Dump that juice
Hello,
and fuck your ass.
Oh my
God.
What a clip! What to come back to? Eh? What to come back to? Welcome back. Where we left off, you Ferra Carta had
Be begging for a juicy Lord dump.
Begging on our knees.
gagging for a lord.
Twice today, Jay. Come on.
I will force some lord down your gullets, and you have to swallow it. You did
In
this
D&D, you
yourself.
don't get a choice.
Oh God.
There is no spit. There's only swallow.
We are day 20. Anyway.
I'm dying.
So about
Look, we
this
gotta keep it
book,
on brand,
yeah?
Yeah,
So this book.
I've
So
got the
before the
book.
break, you talked to the dean, had secured the chance of getting the names of the other students, which you are yet to receive. But in that time, you decided to go and find this Professor Draith. There was a off conversation from the beginning. He seemed to be deceptive about something, though exactly what that was, you were unsure of. You were able to navigate that conversation, eventually leaving. Pardon me. leaving the room, but with an arcane eye, you were able to observe that he was acting extremely strangely, almost robotic. You waited till later on, as he left the room and Aeria invisibly followed him as he went towards the staff area, the staff dormitories even. As he went in that direction, the rest of you found yourself inside the office, breaking in. During that, you were perusing and investigating the office, and in doing so, along the bookshelf of a variety of different books, one caught your eye. So because you pulled it out, it was not a history or archaeology book. It stood completely out to the others. The tome itself, different in texture, with a significant amount of notations inside, the title of which is Aeria. You're following the...
I can't believe you twat.
Yeah, I have. That was just the recap. So, Aeria, as you follow...
I didn't realise you'd
Professor
actually done it
Draith.
now.
As you follow Professor Draith, you eventually follow him to one of the rooms in the dormitories. As he takes out a key and unlocks the door, and sort of steps inside. Doesn't close it yet, but like he does kind of like step inside the room.
Can
What do
I?
you wish to do?
You said it isn't closed?
But so he's kind of stood by the door, just seems to look round the interior as he steps through. There's enough time probably to slip through. If that's what you're asking. I'm assuming that's what you wanted to do. But like,
Slip through. Yeah, go on then.
you are? Okay,
Yeah,
roll me a stealth check.
Yeah.
Roll me a stealth check.
It's gonna bite me in the ass, but I'm gonna do it.
Or edge.
I wanna catch him. I'm invisible, so it's advantage, right?
What if he goes in that,
Yeah.
what if he goes in that room and just stands there for 8 hours?
24.
Alright, as you slip by, he seems to have had enough of a look at the room and closes the door behind and locks it after him. The room itself is not dissimilar to yours. There is a private bathing room. You can see the door is ajar. There's a basin in there. The main room is like a living space. Again, very neatly organised. Everything has its proper place. There's a fireplace that is currently unlit. A single sofa that sits in front of that. A window that looks out over the mountains to the north, and then a doorway that leads to what appears to be a bedroom. What you can imagine is a bedroom. The door is shut, but it's the same layout as your rooms. He walks over to the sofa, sits down, and just stares forward.
Oh, he's a zombie. He's a zombie.
What are you doing?
Okay, so let's practice being light on our feet, because I would like to. Actually, I'm just going to stay where I am and just do a quick once over of the room. Does anything jump out to me?
Sure. Roll me a perception check.
Ooh, natural one.
Okay. For a 10. So what I'll say is, as you're standing there, you glance around the room. Nothing suspicious other than his action really stands out to you. You see a kitchenette, everything kind of organised on there. There's another bookshelf with a few less tomes on there, but there are books. It's very, very normal. It's extremely normal. However, as you're looking around and taking that moment, I'm going to say, because of the natural one there, I'm going to give it a slight sort of a disadvantage. Something has kind of like happened because of it. The floorboard creaks under your foot.
Yep.
And you just see that stare changes. Just kind of turns his head to the side. Now he's going to make a perception check. I'd like you to roll me another stealth.
Yep.
This is going to be normal because it's this is about sound.
27.
Incredible.
About that. Okay, interesting.
There's no way.
He did roll a natural 20 on that, but that's still not enough. As you actually
Oh.
no, you can see he turns his head to the side, and returns to that position.
God. I love Rogue so much. Okay.
God, so dicey. Ooh.
All right. I will give it a beat. Let that moment sizzle over. And then I have a question, because I have Eldritch Sight, which lets me cast detect magic at will.
Yeah.
Detect magic. I should know this by now. In fact, let me just look it up.
Are you asking about verbal components?
Yeah. Yeah, it's verbal. It's VS, verbal and semantic. That sucks. Okay. God damn. I'm gonna. Does he have a bed? Is there a bed in the room?
They're not in this room, but there is a doorway to a bedroom, but it is closed. So the room itself is kind of like, think of it, it's not really an L shape. Well, the room itself is an L shape. As you come in, there's a door on your left directly, which is what appears to be like the bathroom. Then there's the living room in front of you, a kitchenette on the far end, and then around that corner is where there's a doorway to the bedroom. Same layout as your room.
Okay. Okay, that's fine. I will just hang out because I can't really do anything else. I will. It's approaching the end of the day, isn't it?
It is dark outside now.
Okay, so I can pop another. If I need to. Yeah, I'm just gonna hang out. I'm just gonna hang out in the room, and if I feel like...
How long are you gonna want to wait?
I will wait until there's like 10 minutes left. If he doesn't do anything, then I will... Oh god. Huh?
I know I can get out of there. I don't know. It's metagaming. I don't want it.
I mean, I can use my cape, but that's going to be super obvious that someone was in the room. Okay, I will wait until there's like 10 minutes left of my invisibility.
Okay.
And then I will... Is there anywhere in the room that I could hide without... Like, what? Is it... I
mean, there was part of, like, the kitchenette, you could hide behind the counter.
Yeah. Yeah,
Right.
I'll do that.
So, I'm going to tell you how much time has passed.
Yeah.
So, you cast the spell. We'll say it took you 10 minutes to get from the office to to his room. You'd be spending about 40 minutes in there, kind of like observing and waiting, and then it would be 10 minutes before the spell ends.
He still hasn't done anything. Just sitting there staring at the wall. Fuck, I wish I had fucking dispel magic. Okay, okay, I'm just gonna let the spell run out.
Okay.
But I will
As
stay behind the
you-
counter.
Okay, you move over to the counter.
No way.
As you move over to the counter, you hear a voice.
No, you're kidding.
I take it you wish for a drink? Storm,
Oh no.
Zuko, Gaiak. You are within that room. You see that Zuko has found this book. Looking at the book, Zuko, the title reads Pyro Detonation, Volatile Matter and Chemical Theory.
This motherfucker blew up the labs. Guys, and I'll just hold the book out and show them. This is a little.
Bit odd for an archaeology teacher to have that.
Yes.
They tend to preserve ruins, not blow them up.
Considering that the labs were exploded.
It matches up with the time as well.
This could be considered evidence.
Look.
I might have a little flick through, maybe.
I was.
As you open the book and look through, there is text in there. It is written. It's written in Stellarian. And as you flick through, you see a lot of like diagrams and depictions. There is some like chemical theory in there and some scientific. Arcane and science are very much the same in this world, but as you glance through, there's some like fundamental sciences in here. But this is a spell book. And inside Storm, as you're looking over his shoulder, you can see there are 3 different spells in here: Fireball, Immolation, and Delayed Blast Fireball.
Whoa.
Delayed blast fireball.
Oh.
Hell.
That might be a real bad.
Oh yeah.
I don't know this in character. Storm, this might be. I don't read this. I think you can, right?
This is not good.
Why did he blow them up though?
I'm gonna give the book to Storm.
This is not good. This. Aria.
sorry.
Aria. Let me say this in psychic whispers.
Do we have psychic whispers?
Okay, is it gone? Or
No, it would still be up.
I mean, you just have to roll a d8 to see how many hours it lasts, right?
Wait, sorry.
Yeah, but I mean, it's been at least an hour.
Erados.
Do you want me to roll a d8?
Yeah, roll me. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, roll me a d8. But I just mean like it wouldn't have gone now. Is basically what I meant.
8 hours. There you go.
Good night's rest.
we need to warn Aria. This is he's a spellcaster. At least
He's-
in the leagues with one.
Do I hear that as he said what he said to me?
I'd say that before, probably normally, and then I would say, Aria, be
Yes?
warned. I think he's a spellcaster. We found
What?
extremely dangerous spells in his possession. Inside
I
of
mean
me.
that's enough to get him.
Is it his handwriting? Comparing it to the other
No,
book.
yeah, you got a very high roll. No, it is not.
It's not.
Meanwhile,
Oh man. Oh
Oh
man.
no! Oh no!
I believe human custom suggests that ignorance and ignoring someone is considered rude.
Is my invisibility gone now?
You've still got like that sort of 5-10 minutes left of it. This was as you were walking over to the counter to hide.
I'm not gonna respond, just to see if he says anything else.
There's a silence. Your attempts at hiding from me are pointless. I sense you following me from the office, and I sense you now. You might as well just reveal yourself.
I will tiptoe as light-footed as I can over to him. I'm not going to attack. I'm just going to get out my dagger and hold it to his throat.
And like, before, like, you just take a step forward and you kind of like move for the dagger. Hold right there.
I should left.
Like, you get the impression he can sense where you are. Even when you're invisible.
Okay, well, I'll drop it then.
Alright?
Well, how the fuck do you do that? That's fucking impressive.
It's not my fault that your minds are weak and unruly, lacking discipline.
Fine. Our minds. How do you know what our minds are like?
We have listened, sensed.
We.
Mm-hmm.
What's we?
Why do we not just skip this part where you attempt to deceive me? I think we both know exactly what we're talking about.
Looking to right now.
And he's just still staring straight at the...
No, he's not even looking at me. He's just staring straight ahead.
No, it's straight at the wall.
Who am I speaking to right now?
Ah, yes, I forget that you place such importance on personal individualism. So very, very curious.
Let's say that again.
I am very sure that my masters will be so disappointed in what's happened here. I suppose it was only a matter of time after you eradicated them that you would find out who I was. But my death will not have a lack of meaning. Tell me, are you communicating with your associate's designation, Ferra Carta, right now?
I get the feeling you already know if you knew where I was in the room.
At least you're observant. You would make a good host.
I'm good.
Yeah, I'm good, thanks.
Oh. My apologies. That wasn't a request.
Oh no. What do I do? Oh my god.
The two of you stand in this room. Oh, you stand in this room as he sits staring at the wall.
Can I have a look at his eyes? Do his eyes look weird at all, or?
I mean, you can like circle round and see from the
Yeah,
front.
yeah.
He's just staring at the wall, unblinking. I mean, I'm blinking, but he isn't.
Professor Dre's in there at all? Or am I speaking to somebody else?
Yes, I forget that you hold on to the remnants of those that came before. The individual known as Professor Brathdraith is part of myself now. His memories are mine. But he is gone. What do you call it? Dead.
Algonthorn?
Mm-hmm. Not quite. I am but a servant.
Like, fucker, we might be tapped into the thingy. Oh! I'm gonna just walk towards the door and see what they say.
Leaving so soon, I thought we might have a more intimate conversation.
Please. What would you want to talk about?
You see, like, his head kind of like roll over to the side, almost like it's kind of like shifting, and his mouth just kind of goes slack, and his tongue flops out, and you just watch some spittle drip down the side. Join with us. I need you to make me an intelligence saving throw.
Oh,
No.
At this point, like, Aeria cuts out of the.
Oh, we would notice that though, yeah?
Yeah,
I feel
mean,
like Eridel certainly would.
Okay.
you should tell us.
All over the place. Intelligence, yeah?
Intelligence saving throw, yeah.
16?
16. Yeah, that's way more than enough.
Oh.
You feel like this voice in your head, and it's almost like there's a, like this presence, like trying to put pressure on your mind, and almost put you in like a comatose state. Like you feel your sense of self kind of drifting for a second, as you feel like you're about to lose consciousness, but you stern your mind. Such a pity. This is a voice that kind of echoes in your mind. The Wraith's like jaw has gone slack at this point. You can see his skull is like almost bulging and cracking from the inside.
Yeah, there was no need for that. If you wanted to chat, you could have just asked.
At this point, you watch the brain split open, the skull even, as this form emerges. You've seen these before. The almost chicken-like claws gripping at the side as it pulls itself out, and Wraith's body just falls quiet as it begins to like pull itself out. What do you wish to do, Aeria?
Throw my dagger at it.
Alright, roll an attack roll.
Can we immediately, the moment we hear the contact cut, just make a ball?
I mean, you've got a ways to go, I mean,
I
you
know,
can
but
certainly
yeah,
Yeah,
run.
I'd
Dash
start
forward.
running. Yeah, like
yeah,
Sure.
we'd be running, hightailing it there.
Oh,
dashing
All
with
right,
my
you.
flying
The
speed.
moment you feel that.
Oh,
The-
the 22.
Damn.
22. Okay.
I'm dashing the whole way.
All right. So what I'm gonna say is that you don't know where she is.
I'm gonna
then.
stay
Like,
here.
you know that she's in the dorm, but the staff dorm, but she's inside a closed room without like names. Like the dorms don't have, the staff dorms don't have names on it. It's not like the offices. So you can certainly dart in that direction. It's going to take you like, I mean, it took her 10 minutes to follow it at a walk, so it's going to take you at least 3 or 4 minutes to get to that place, to that part of the building. So we'll run that as it goes. So Zuko, you want to stay in the room?
Yeah, I'm gonna stay and make sure no one comes and does anything here, whilst the whole party are distracted.
All right. So, Aria,
Mm.
you throw your dagger across at the brain, pulling its way out. It plunges into it, and you watch it kind of split with with just a splatter. It's still shifting. You can see it's pulling its way out. I'm gonna say it's gonna try and like pull its way out on this. Okay. At this point, are you pulling the dagger back by its kind
Yeah,
of like
I'll use a
bouncing
charge
thing?
to summon it back. Yeah.
Okay, so as you summon it back to your hand, you watch where the dagger was. This like black liquid just seeps out from the brains. It begins to pull its way out, and it flops onto the ground with a spat. As it rises up onto its legs and kind of shakes itself as like brain matter splatters across the ground.
Ugh.
Join with us. You got a reaction to do something now. We're kind of going out of initiative here,
Yep.
but it's there's stuff going down.
Can I
least-
do something on the way? Sorry.
I mean, you can do if you want.
I just literally, I'm gonna cast Long Strider on myself. So
Okay.
my like movement speed increases by 10. So if I'm able to use my flying speed, that goes
Alright.
up to 60. If it's
I mean, you're
speed.
walking. You're kind of going through a hallway. I
Yeah.
think it's probably going to be like ground movement.
Mhm.
But you can dart through there, and you start picking up a pace in front of the others, like bursting through the hallways and the doors leading back towards the dorms. Aria, what is your action here?
At least buy a girl a drink first. And I'll throw my dagger again.
Okay, make another attack roll.
Why does it keep scrolling past? There we go. 14.
14. That'll be enough to hit.
Can
so
I
that's,
put some
a lot of
charges
damage.
into this?
you can indeed.
I'm going to put the remaining charges, so that's 4d6.
Okay.
4d6 necrotic.
Okay.
An extra 17 necrotic.
Nice.
So as you throw the blade the second time, you see it kind of charging up with this purple psionic energy as the blade sinks through, carves its way down the ridge in the middle of the brain between the two hemispheres, and it just splits open, and it just flops in half. It is dead.
Walk over, take my dagger out. The soul, if it has a soul, it gets sent off the boss, man. And
It
I
does.
get some temporary hit points. I get 9 temporary
You
hit
get
points.
the impression
Boom.
that the creatures themselves, certainly solo, don't pose much of a threat. Like you've fought these things a number of times, and you know that they do. That certainly at your level now, like your expertise with fighting these creatures, they are not as dangerous as they may have once been, but they are certainly threatening in numbers.
Wow. I will kind of like, maybe as it's dying, as it like it's still got a little bit of life in it, I just as I walk over to it, I just pull my dagger out and say, "Don't fuck with Ferra Carta."
There is no response as the energy subsides.
Alright. I'm gonna... Look, is Draith... So Draith has just got... His head is basically exploded.
Draith looks like his brain has exploded from the inside. It is just like an empty place within there now. Like you can see the interior of his skull, and the brain is shattered out onto the ground. Or the skull, the crown of the skull is like shattered onto the ground.
I'm gonna...
And he's just there, like his eyes have rolled back into his head.
I'm gonna search him. I'm gonna search his person, see if he has anything on him.
Okay, as you begin to search his person, you find the 2 keys for the room and the dorm. But other than that, he's in his tutoring robes, and that's about it.
Okay.
Doesn't seem to have anything else of interest on him.
I'm gonna test, because I don't know that it was severed, or do I know that the thingy was severed?
What was severed, sorry?
The Psychic Whispers.
I mean, you can tell that
Right.
Psychic Whispers is severed. Like, you know that the presence is gone.
Okay, knowing that then, I will go over to the door and unlock it, open the door, and I will walk out and just look for the first member of Ferra Carta that I see.
Alright, yeah, as you open the door, you hear the running of footsteps, and down the hall you see coming around the corner a guy like charging at full speed.
Okay, I run towards her as fast as I can, and kind of like as I get to her, just pull myself and look into the room. Pull myself around the door frame and look into the room.
Over there.
What happened? You would
Take a look.
so.
You see the scene.
Are we here by now, or is the guy gone?
Yeah, I'd say at this point, like after a few moments of talking, you guys would catch up as well. So the rest of you.
What happened? Is she okay?
It would appear that your suspicions were correct, Dawn.
He was with them.
What? Wait, what happened to him?
Look on the floor.
He turned into this?
He had one of those things inside his head.
But who knows?
It was a throw.
Who knows how many others are potentially like this?
Oh,
We need to round up the entire university and check.
And we need
It's
to
the only
make
way
sure
to be
this
safe.
evidence remains and, I don't know, show it to the dean, anyone, everyone.
they are not easy to discern. He was... How did he reveal himself? How did
He knew where I was, even though I was invisible. He knew I was following him, even though he could not see me.
Wait. They have some kind of... Could I deduce... I don't know if this is... Could I deduce that they can, like... I don't know, you didn't tell me about his comments on minds. I'm wondering if I can deduce that they can, like, sense brains.
I will inform the whole group of everything that happened in the room.
Alright, you take the time to tell everyone and describe the experience.
You were invisible, yes. Some kind of sense.
Could be.
Troubling.
This makes me very, very nervous to keep my sister here. We have to round up everyone in the university.
I agree.
We can't just isolate this to specific people now. Everyone has to be checked.
Yes, there could be countless others.
We need them to station more guards here. Really.
Dawn, before we go to sleep tonight, could I perhaps trouble you to send a message to Arilla about something specific?
Yes. Well,
I'll tell you more when we go to sleep, but if you want to investigate anything, just keep it in mind.
I'd like to take out my book and have a closer look at Draith and the Val-Aeria and take some sketches and some notes.
Absolutely, you make comments and some descriptions and diagrams of what you see before you.
He said it come out of his head.
It erupted. It like crawled its way out. Disgusting.
Wow. To the dean.
This university is not safe for anyone. Not anymore.
Okay. So what are your next steps?
Inform the dean
Yeah.
and show them.
Straight then.
Not expecting that to happen.
I think we have another corpse as well for dissection.
Yep.
So, yeah, I'm gonna use the mage hand to pick up this thing. I don't.
Alright.
Can you pick up? Hey, can you do that? Is it? Was it? I said like 5 pounds. I think.
I'll open the bag of holding for you to put it in. But by the way, I would have something just really quickly. I want to take out the Ilithid head and Gaiak, you have the burny thing you can do with your hands, yes?
Yeah.
Could
so
you just do it on the bottom of the head so it's like cauterizes because it's bleeding everywhere. It's getting
Yeah,
disgusting.
I'll use produce flame to
Yes.
like cauterize.
Just
the
cauterize,
bottom.
yes.
Definitely a botch job, but
Oh,
I'll
it
do my
smells.
best.
Oh, that's disgusting. Oh, okay.
Yeah, it pops and crackles.
Oh, okay.
Fat
Thank you.
And blubber.
Thank you.
Ooh, calamari.
I was just.
Never do that.
Ah, you were time for that. You guys
Thanks
would
for
not
that,
know
guys.
what calamari is.
I live in a
The tentacles curl up.
Okay.
Actually, at this point, you would have noticed like it is beginning to go through the beginning process
Yeah.
of rotting away. Like the tentacles have like curled up, like spider legs.
Yeah.
But
at least it's not bleeding over everything.
True.
Shall we embalm it? Maybe.
Perhaps we could do something to preserve it, yes. But the quicker we can get it to Arilla, that would be great. But let's go inform the dean and tell him that everyone in the university needs to be checked. Everyone, even everyone.
I can't fathom how we're going to do this. How these people? If we can't detect it, how are?
Eredel is probably
I
our
think there's
best
only
bet.
one person who could.
Eredel.
Yes.
I think it might be a good idea not to. It might be a good idea not to inform people when we gather them what we're searching for.
Yes.
If we do that, then the ones who are actually imposters will only be the ones thinking about being spotted.
All of which we will tell the dean once we go to get him.
Yeah, so what we'll say, to kind of like fast track it a little bit, you guys head to the dean's office as you inform him of all this information. He's there sat with a troubled look. You can see him stroking at the moustache and like twiddling it, and he looks incredibly concerned with a furrowed brow. Oh, I'm just not sure how to go about this process.
It's a lot to.
That means any number of people could be one of these things. Even I could, as far as you're aware.
Be able to know.
What does this mean for the rest? These things could be everywhere.
Just realize I say Alistrine and not Eredel. I say Alistrine.
Are you starting to see the full longevity of if we let this go on for any longer? The coast, the entirety of the Val-Aeria could be in trouble. Is in trouble.
Oh, good gods. What do you suggest? How do we go about this?
Our priority right now is keeping those that were taken safe, until we can find out what.
Have any other students or faculty been away for a similar length of time like Professor Drathwaite?
What do you mean?
Have there been any other expeditions, trips, anything that would have taken them away from here long enough for them to be implanted with all of these things?
I mean, there are trips to all sorts, aye.
How long ago was Professor Drath?
Probably around 5 months, if off the top of my head.
So we could assume that anyone who has been going away from that 5 month, between now and that 5 month period, it is possible that they also may have been taken over. If there is anyone like that, do you remember?
As I said, countless trips around, down to around Penn, to the capital.
I'm a little worried as well. How, Dean, if I may ask, the what do you call it? The students, I guess. The students of this academy, they are all from well-off families.
Aye, those that can afford to study here.
And they're all from families who have, more importantly, heavy political clout in whatever country they're from.
I suppose that would be the truth, aye. You're suggesting that these things are targeting the university
I think the university.
to infect the minds of our students.
It's
I-
possible.
I'm starting to think that this was the Illithid's idea of fresh and intelligent minds, research, if you will.
They also mentioned. I'm gonna whisper this to Storm. Actually, no. Psychic Whisper's still up.
Yep.
Yeah.
8 hours.
I'm gonna say the Psychic Whispers. Then it's like there's also the fact that we know they're trying to implant people in government, and the best way to do that would be to take over the heirs of these noble families.
It's too long of a game, right?
Um,
They're going to make their name so known in a month. Perhaps I
No,
don't
but they will
know
have
if it will.
influence over their family.
They will, yes, but I think this is something more immediate. This was scouting. Starting to realize that now. Where would you choose to harvest information? Somewhere with bright minds and many subject to study.
Could have been both. I just don't want to know.
Can we hear this? Is it? Can we
Seems-
hear? Or is it?
Yeah,
Or is it
yeah,
when
yeah.
you send the messages direct to them?
No. It's in
No,
it's
you
a
can
group-
hear it.
group
It's-
chat.
Hearing you say that, Ari is going to get a bit panicked, and I'm going to say, "Excuse me, I'm really sorry, but I must go see my sister. Please, you must ensure that everyone in the university has been checked. I don't care how it's done. Pass it off as checking for an illness. We have 5 people who have been hospitalized.
But that doesn't help the situation. I don't know what to do with this.
I'm sorry. I just
We'll-
leave. I leave and I go to find my sister.
It's a troubling time.
What does searching mean? If Professor Draith could get away looking at the way that he was this entire time, how in the God's name are we supposed to know who is and who isn't one of these things?
Had Ruth shown any difference in behavior when he came back? Different.
I don't know the man personally, but nothing was ever brought to my attention.
We understand a lot.
Volunteer.
A lot. This is an understatement. I don't know how many of my colleagues, people that work under me, are monsters in disguise.
This may be a wild suggestion, but it seems as if something worthy to close the university temporarily. Perhaps send the students. to them.
And what if you're right? What if they are these things? We're sending all these monsters out into the world.
True.
At least here they're contained, if they are.
Yes, you're right.
But if these things turn, then all the students would be in danger.
You have sway with the capital? you're able to request more troops. Explain to them that it's more dire than you originally assumed.
I can make a request, pull some strings, but I don't know how much good that will do if we don't know what we're fighting.
Did anyone else? What were the names of all the other people who went on the expedition with Ray?
I've had my secretary compile a list of the students. Other than those students on the expedition, it was only James Matthews and Professor Drath that went.
It's also worth knowing that whatever was Drake perhaps caused the fire. We found evidence that it was a spellcaster, just like the creatures themselves. They are able to cast dangerous incantations.
I see.
It's worth keeping in mind.
So what do we do now? What do I tell my staff and my students?
Maybe keep this about Drafe quiet for now. We're already reeling from yesterday's events. I don't know. It's your call. If you can deliver it in a way that doesn't whip up a frenzy, just worry for. Because the fear drives people to do rash things.
Aye, that it does. And I can imagine if they know that people can be these monsters disguised, it would be an explosion of paranoia.
Yes. We need to be alert, yes. You all need to be alert. We can't stay here for long. We will be leaving in perhaps even tomorrow. I'm not sure.
Tomorrow, huh? What are we meant to do?
I think you're muted if you talk much, by the way. Oh, okay. Like I said, we're bringing in a professional, someone who can do some good here. Orilla.
And how do you know you can trust this person? That they aren't controlled by one of these things.
We've known her a lot longer. We have.
Longer than 5 months.
No. That is.
Then do you really know her?
I want to insight check the Dean because he's trying to pit us against Orilla for some reason.
I mean, you're the one that's come to him telling him that people can pretend to be other people.
Yeah.
No,
I mean, roll an
him
insight
anyway.
check.
He's very valid. I can see where he's coming from.
Damn it. Never when it
Okay,
matters.
yeah, with that 10, like, I mean,
Never when it matters.
he's very, like, he's been very matter of fact. You, as I just said, you've come to him, told him that someone was pretending to be a professor here for 5 months, no one knew about it, and now you're telling him to trust this random other person that you've not even known that long. I think what you see happening in front of you is exactly the thing that he just talked about happening if everyone found out about Professor Drake. He is now being suspicious of them.
Your fear and concern is warranted and understood. We are sorting it, okay? We don't know who to trust. You're right. It's not right to trust anyone. But we're going to come up with a plan.
Okay.
Keep me informed. I don't know how you plan on investigating all the staff and students, or how you might find out whether or not they're one of these things. But I must be informed.
Please, the priority really should lie with these those who were taken. I've said it already to you, and it's imperative that there's a guard detail watching.
At this point, he'll like lean back and like, open the desk and pull out a sheet of paper, kind of slides it across to you. It's got like a list of the 20 students that went on the expedition to the ruin along the fields of Ranu.
I mean, they'd be suspect number 1.
Thank you.
I'm afraid that this is the only one. Bless you.
Something in the air. Oh.
Deception.
You can say that again.
I must write a letter at once.
Please understand as well that just so there aren't any complications once you get here. I know what you said, but we've fought alongside her for a while. She has grown our trust. There were plenty of opportunities where if she was one of those things, she could have betrayed us, and she did not.
We've
No.
seen her attack Ilithid.
Yes, she's killed those things before. The point that I'm trying to make is she can be trusted. So when she comes here, please do not obstruct her. If you can trust anyone in this place, she is operating on our behalf as an expert. So please do the same courtesy to her that you would do to us.
It is not all hopeless. If it makes you feel any better, even monsters have fears. There are things they are scared of. We're aware of them. And we will use this. We will utilize this if we can. We'll make them sorry if they can feel that. We'll make them.
Very well. As I said, keep me updated. I need to draft a letter.
Of course.
You can see him already like pull out some stationery down to onto the desk and takes out his quill, dabs it into the inkwell and begins to write.
We'll leave you to it. Good evening.
At that point, Ferra Carta, are you coming back? I'm just waiting in this office on my own.
Wait, what? Oh!
Oh yeah, I thought you was with us. Yeah,
You went with us.
No, he was stayed in the room.
Nothing has happened.
You're fine, Zuko. You can come back.
Are you dead?
What's going on?
We're now coming back, so come meet us back at the rooms.
Oh,
We just
Of
let the
course.
dean know. Drafe was a brain with chicken for legs.
oh. Not too sure what that means, but cool. I'm just gonna close the door to that office and make my way back to our rooms then.
Alright.
I'm tired.
Are you heading back? Are you heading back to the rooms that you got?
Chicken.
Yeah, back to our rooms where we're staying.
Okay, so you all regroup. You're already in the same building. You all regroup within your rooms as darkness has set in at this point.
I went to find my sister.
It is no. Oh, of course you did. Yeah, sorry. So the rest of you begin to regroup. Aria, you head over across the snow over to the dorms and up towards your sister's room on one of the top floors.
Knock on the door.
Alright. You knock on the door. Footsteps walk over and open it up. Aria.
Don't say anything, just hug her.
What's wrong?
It's not safe for you here. At all.
Aria, we've already talked about
I
this.
don't. I know. And I know that I am not the kind of person to talk to you like this, but for once, could you just listen to me? You cannot stay here. I sit her on the bed. There is a woman who will be coming here soon to investigate what has been going on. I want you to go with her.
What?
She's a very powerful woman. But she's brilliant like you. I think you two will get on perfectly. And I think that your brain might actually help with what she is researching. I need to know that you are safe, Marie. You cannot stay here. Promise me that you will go with her.
But I can't just leave, Aria. There's so much I have to do here.
What you have to do here is not worth your life, Marie.
I worked hard to get here.
I know. And
You're asking me to give it all up.
no, which is why I'm asking you to go with her. Because going home would mean giving up on this. Going with Orilla, the woman, would mean continuing this, but in the safety of someone who could protect you. You are a genius, Marie. I think that you two could do great things together. You'd learn much more from her than you would in a university. Please.
You really think so?
I know so.
I get the feeling you're not going to let this go, so
No.
if it means that much to you, and I'm not having to go home, fine. For you.
Thank you. I don't like being stern with you, but I'm just gonna cup her face. It is not safe for you here, and I cannot leave here knowing that I would be leaving you behind, knowing what has happened here. But Orilla could teach you many things. I have made a compromise.
I guess I'll pack my things.
Good. Do you mind if I stay with you tonight? I don't want to leave you on your own. I'll sleep on the floor.
Sure, that. Sure.
Good. And I'll send down psychic whispers. I'm going to stay with my sister tonight, so don't worry about me.
What is it you wanted to tell me?
Yes, Storm. If you have one to spare, could you possibly send a message to Orilla and tell her to take my sister with her when she leaves?
Of course, I was planning on recontacting her. She originally said she couldn't come, but I don't care. I'll explain this
Tell
place
her.
in 1,000 details.
Tell her that my sister is the best brain she will ever meet, and she could possibly help her with researching these orbs. My sister studies engineering. She is the person to ask for this.
I think that's a genius idea. Yes, I will tell her.
Thank you. You don't understand what this means. Thank you. Have a good night, Ferra Carta.
Oh God.
Best brain she'll ever devour.
Oh.
Yeah, that's why I want her gone.
She's doing some bad.
Yes. Let us know if anything happens. Okay.
I will do.
Alright, so at this point the rest of you have congregated in your rooms and are staying with Marie. What do you wish to do, Ferra Carta?
Sorry, we do. I know we have a means of checking, but I didn't want to say it in front of the team.
A means of checking what? Sorry, I sort of missed a little bit in there.
Oh, you mean checking all of the students?
Yes, it would take some. Problem is, it would take some time. We'd have to obviously, Erida would have to interview them one by one, and then they would also the way we'd have to hope that they don't tell. We'd have to hope that they do not tell anyone the fact that she just stared at them for a while.
It's
There
time.
could be hundreds of students here.
Yes, it's time we don't have. I know.
We don't have time. I think tomorrow we're going to have to give the dean some kind of recommendation. I think personally that he should continue to keep this place open. On the off chance that some of the students, like you said, are some of the students or faculty are being controlled. At least that way we know where to find them once this is done.
But if we think about the purpose of this place, it was to create more. If there is no one here, then there is no use of this place. Does that make sense?
The dean raised. Yes, it would just set up somewhere else. Can say is right, but the dean raised a valid point. If it sends people home, it's potentially distributing. Potentially time bombs.
We'll also be sending them home to their families to have power.
Yes.
Put the words into their fathers, mothers, whatever's ears.
Or worse, a new brain.
I need to tell Orilla that it's more serious than we imagined here.
Let her know. But she did say she couldn't get here, didn't she?
Like I said, I will explain this place and describe it in 1,000 words if it would help her focus on teleporting here. She needs to be here.
If not, we could always just take something to her quickly. I know it's a lot of resources.
Yes, we could, but it would be worth it. Yes, let's find out first.
If she wants to learn about and study the Ilithid, this is the place to be.
Yes.
Before we go following anyone anywhere, we do need to visit the Sisters of Ogma because they are right next door to us. We won't be able to teleport back.
Yes, that's something we still want to do.
No, I am able to. I'm able to make 7 trips.
No, I mean, there's no teleportation circle in Dayford that we know of.
There is, yes.
One next to Dayford?
Yeah, one inside Dayford, yes.
The Druids Park.
The Druid Park. I can
Yes.
teleport us straight to there.
And we can do that without a kingdom full of people against magic noticing us.
We're
I
done.
can
did
make us
that.
all.
You already did it.
Yeah.
That's how you got back to David.
Is that how we got here, wasn't it?
That is.
Yes.
Could we ride? Didn't go out carry us in the land?
That's
That
how
was
we
to
got
the
from David
university,
to the
yeah.
university, yeah.
Where is that?
But we went from Deep Bay to Dayford by teleporting.
Yeah, it would have taken him weeks to fly you from Deep Bay all the way up
Yeah,
to
look, I like you
Okay.
guys,
Dennis
but I ain't
University.
fucking doing that.
It's like this like 1,500 miles.
Oh!
yeah, yeah. It's a long while. It's a long while.
I
Look,
was
taxi
risky.
kayak is fast, but not that fast.
It was risky what we did, but next time, if we're worried about that, I can make us all invisible. We can go through the portal.
Nope, that was just me. Forget that was just Jack. Forget that happened.
I'm going to go make contact with Arilla. I'll start doing that then if there's anything, unless anyone else what it is, anything else.
I'm gonna word the message for you. I'm just thinking it out.
just gonna
We
think
just
about
remember we need to inform her that situations were complicated. There may still be Ilithid infiltrators, and that your well, I don't know this out of character. That your sister is going with him.
You do
I'm
know-
literally just wording it now.
We would know that because that was said on Psychic Whispers.
Yeah.
Oh, was it? Oh,
It was.
Oh man, I'm just.
So weird because you have to keep thinking that Psychic Whispers is basically like an echo hall.
Wait, what was the last bit you said, Jack? Situation.
Situation's still more complicated. There might be Ilithid infiltrators still in the building, and that your sister's going with her.
I'll probably
No.
freestyle because I don't like. Last time when reading it, like I feels like I'm reading a script. But if send me what you got and I'll.
Okay, I'm just counting the words. I think I've got what you need to say anyway. One.
Yeah, just the kind of things I'm talking about would help.
Honestly, I feel like the sending thing has got to a point of it not really being like specifically 25 words, but like simple short like phrases or a sentence sort of thing, like
Yeah.
something within reason, really.
Yeah.
I take out the on. Yeah, that's the gist of what you should say.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that sounds good. I'll cast that. Send it to her. Orilla, promising young mind at university that will assist with investigation on orbs. Situation at Durnstead still complicated. Get here ASAP. Will describe place if helps. Need you. 25.
No description necessary. I believe I can scry on your location. Could you stand by a monument or unique structural element? If I view it, there is a good chance that I can make the teleportation. Sorry, I did not think of this before.
Yeah. As I'll explain this to the guys, I start getting ready. I'm just going to go outside and explain the courtyard. Well, no, she's going to look at the courtyard and teleport him.
Perhaps the fountain is...
Yes.
The fountain, yeah.
What I was thinking of too. And as I start moving towards outside, I'll cast it again. Now heading to the fountain. Give me a few moments, then scry. You'll see it. See you soon.
Excellent. I will see you shortly. Hopefully.
Hopefully.
Okay, just to make sure
You head out of the house.
Wizard joke.
just to make sure everyone doesn't kill a riddle on arrival, I'm going to warn the guards that they're about to see something crazy.
But they already
You
have
go
them.
out with him then.
It's nighttime,
Yeah.
right? There's not too much.
It is night. Well, as you go outside, you can see there are guards patrolling their
shit.
torchlight, kind
Yeah.
of shedding around the perimeter. Like they've obviously like ramped up the security.
Oh yeah, that's good.
You go over to the fountain, and you wait
Can I?
and wait. Are you doing your see invisibility? Is that what you were looking at? I just assumed that's you were looking at something. I thought that's why you were laughing.
No, I know I'm gonna do it because I can't really afford to. I am going to sleight of hand cast.
What are you doing here?
Oh, I could just sending a message to tell her to do it invisible. That would be bad. I was gonna do something hilarious. It might not
She
work.
can't do it invisible.
She can't.
No, because when you're invisible, if you cast a spell, you become
Oh,
invisible.
okay. I'll tell her I'm gonna do this then. I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna sleight of hand cast major illusion. I'd like to make a 20-foot box around the fountain.
So in order to cover someone magically coming in, you're going to create a magical
Kenzo
box
just said
in
he
the
was going
middle
to
of
tell people.
Yeah, I'm going to tell the guards so that they're not alarmed.
I just want everyone to appreciate Jay's logic here.
Yeah.
I don't want people freaking out at someone magical appearing in the middle of the.
Yeah.
No, but it's
in
a
the middle
major
of the-
illusion.
of the
I'm not making a
campus.
box. I'm making.
You just said I'm going to make
No,
a box.
no,
I want
no.
to make a box.
No, a box of illusionary terrain.
Illusion.
No.
What's the illusionary terrain?
Illusionary terrain will be the fountain. So essentially, like it's a mirage. Like
I'm okay. I'm a little confused what you mean.
Yeah.
Are you making a second fountain next to the fountain
No,
that
I'm-
everyone knows isn't there?
no. I'm not making a second fountain. So what you can do with a major illusion, I can make in a 20-foot cube. It can be like a 20-foot by 20-foot cube. It can be an illusion. So
I believe you.
it can be from each angle. It can look like the fountain. If the fountain's 20 foot by 20 foot, they look into it and they see a fountain, but
They don't
wouldn't
see you and
what's
the river.
inside. You don't see
Right.
anything inside the fountain.
I get
Oh,
that.
so what you're saying is you're doing it around you to effectively
Make it
make
look like
exactly
the
the same
illusion.
terrain
Make it-
except without you there.
Yeah, and you can see out of it, but you wouldn't be able to see in it because it would just look like the fountain.
Right.
Yeah, I think I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Even though
Kind
Kensei
of
said
like-
he was going to
Can we
warn
just
people.
establish the fact that the moment she leaves that area, she will still
She
magically
will still be
appear out of
there.
She will magically
I
appear out of
mean,
nowhere.
look, yeah. I mean, it's going to be interesting regardless. It's your decision that you're going to do it, regardless
Do you-
of whatever.
Do you communicate that with Storm that you're going to warn people, or?
I mean, you were heading
would
out-
say-
you'd have
I
to
would
head
say
out
it to the
together.
group. If Storm's told me that Arilla is teleporting in, then I'll say.
I did say that, yeah.
It just seems unnecessary. I was all saying.
We'll just tell them.
Okay,
Lovely
I'll
idea,
inform the
though.
guards so they
Love
don't
the
freak
idea.
out.
We'll just tell them then. I'll scrap that.
It was a great
No.
idea, Jay. I love
Take
the
the slot
idea.
away.
That would
You've
be
done
great.
it.
Save it for when the people.
Just save your slots.
Bad guys.
Jay, don't let them influence your decision. These are your slots.
It
You're
was-
the magic one.
I-
You're the most powerful.
I am
character.
the
You're one
magic-
that
They
gets
are
to
your
decide.
slots. You do as you wish.
I was gonna cast it at 5th level, so it's gonna be permanent as well.
You're gonna put an illusionary fountain on top of an no fountain forever.
That will be the staple.
So
of
now,
the
now
university.
they're going to be like, what the fuck's going on?
Yeah.
Like, that battle must have done something
Yeah.
to the space-time continuum, because every
It's
time
gonna
someone
become
walks
one
the
of
the
fountain, they
wonders of
vanish. It's gonna, like, the next campaign, you guys are going to hear about,
Amen.
the
that
legend of the
fountain?
disappearing fountain. Everyone that walks in vanishes
Can I-
and then reappears.
Can I
afterwards.
just do it, please? Can I do it? I'm doing it. I need to commit to my.
Oh,
You
my
do
silly
you.
act.
Yeah.
You do
Can I
you.
ask a question?
Yeah.
Are you turning the water into black milk as
Yeah,
well?
yeah. When do you say that?
Is it Woody's suggestion?
Jay, I'm gonna do it.
That's the university was shut down.
Ferra Carta became
Oh,
enemy
it's like-
state again.
Everyone's complaining that the sewer network is obviously broken because there's sewage is coming up through the.
The legend
through
of the black
fountain.
milk fountain.
Oh my god!
No.
This
Oh no.
this is
I'm
this
doing
is
it.
why I play D&D.
I'm doing it, guys.
This
Black
is
milk.
D&D.
Alright.
This is
You-
Dungeons and Dragons.
I love that suggestion already. I want to
This
see
is,
what happens. I'm gonna sleight of hand and do it. I don't, because I think even if we tell the guards, I think they're still not gonna they're not gonna be happy.
There's no point you rolling sleight of hand because the guards are patrolling around the area, but they're not
Watching.
coming up to you.
Okay.
You magically you disappear for them, and suddenly the fountain. Well, the fountain
It's still
actually
there.
isn't running water; it's frozen. But all the ice just turns black, and you see one of the guards come stumbling.
Oh no, it's not.
backwards. Oh my god! Oh my god!
You've been traumatized by an Ilithid attack, and you've done this.
that is creepy. I'm not gonna lie. That would be creepy.
Demons! Demons! And he just runs off.
Fuck's sake!
Well, we are the wild cards.
Good idea in my head.
There was a little
Oh, what the fuck?
I did get a short glimpse of Storm as we see kind of scales appear under the fur. It's like,
Oh.
it's like Frisk appeared. for a
Oh yeah,
second there.
this definitely has. I walk into the middle of the tavern and turn into a snake energy.
This is a bit risky.
Fucking hell.
It's a bit frisky.
It's a bit risky. It's a bit
Love it.
risky.
Oh.
Oh,
I had
that's
to do
a new
it.
term. You coined it now.
Yeah.
Put it in
Now that
quotes.
needs to be a t-shirt.
I love
do it.
taking
Jay,
risks.
Taking risks.
Oh, that's gonna be Jay's last words. I had to do
Oh
it.
my god, what is going on?
Mate,
What
what is
is my last
happening?
words? I had to
What
do
the
it.
fuck? Because the
I had
end
to
of this
do it.
session has just devolved into
I had to do
absolute
it.
anarchy.
I had to do it. I had to do it to him.
Okay, so as
I
one of the
respect
guards
it.
panics and runs away from this truly horrifying vision here,
You know.
after about 15 minutes, well actually let me just check this because where is teleport? Okay, I think she might be alright here. Yeah, she's nearly. Fucking hell.
Oh.
Actually, that is so close. So you see there's a moment where you watch the snow within your vision of being around the fountain. The snow kind of disturbs and almost begins to twirl as if some kind of arcanical force is manipulating it and shifting it around like wind, almost into a whirlwind. It's subtle. It's not like a full. But within a second, you see the space warp around like a heat wave, and with a glow of blue energy, you see apparating from a twisting form, Arilla appear in front of you.
Inside the box. Inside the box.
Inside the
Yes,
box.
it worked. It worked.
and as she like steps out, oh, goodness me, I almost didn't make it there.
I didn't warn you it was going to be cold here. Oops. Did you not bring extra clothes? Oh.
What?
Let me check what her spells are real quick. What's she got on her? I can't remember which ones allow you to like change temperature.
Would you risk for a chocolate biscuit?
What?
What?
Would you risk it for a chocolate biscuit?
What's the thrisk?
What's the thrisk?
Biscuit for a chocolate biscuit. Oh my
The
god.
wordplay, I love it.
What's the thrisk?
Oh dear. Would you thrisk? Bee. For a milky bee.
Okay, gosh.
Milky black.
Focus, guys. We're professionals.
We are.
I mean, that statement is extremely debatable at this point. Yeah, you see Arilla appear before you, as she kind of shivers. Ooh.
I may or may not have traumatized someone with this place. Do you like it? So it's a one-way. You can see out, but they can't see in.
I see.
Why?
Good job.
So you feel the need to explain it to her because she's a noob.
Yeah. You ever heard of it? It's a little spell called Major Illusion. I don't know if you're at that level. No,
You know, are you mansplaining to her?
I'm not sure, Storm. Have you mastered the master level destruction spells yet?
Yeah. Fight back. Oh my god, Storm is mansplaining.
She literally just like walks
1,000-year-old elf.
Oh, I am obviously kidding you.
Oh my god.
Yes, I know. I learned that when I was 100.
Yes, she did.
Okay, now we're done flirting.
But yes, we do call you here on the fact that it's very bad here. Ilithid disguising themselves as professors, perhaps even students. Some kind of, we believe, researching, scouting in this laboratory in pods, tadpoles.
I think we should. Let's take this inside. Talk there. It seems you've had quite the encounter here. I'd very much like to see this laboratory.
Yes,
and of course the corpses. And who is this person that you mentioned? A bright young mind?
All in good time. All in good time, really. It's Sister of Aria. She's well, you'll see for yourself. Come.
I suppose I will. In 2 weeks on Dirty 20.
Oh,
Wait, 2 weeks? Oh, yeah,
yes.
With that, we're gonna end the session there.
I am gonna, and because it's 2 weeks, I'm gonna forget about the fountain, so it's gonna stay like that.
No one will ever forget about the fountain. So obviously next week we won't be playing.
None of us will be here next
we
week.
will be partying together.
Yeah. It's Maya's birthday.
For Maya's birthday. So I believe, in which case it will be the 8th, Sunday the 8th of May. That will be our next session.
Yes, you're right.
I know you all can't survive without,
it's gonna be long.
Our precious D&D.
I love it. I love D&D so much. It's great.
I love D&D.
Was that Spider-Man 2 reference I heard?
Wait, what?
Who? What?
My precious D&D.
Is that Spider-Man 2 reference?
Is that Spider-Man?
Yeah. Octavius, my precious Tritian. My precious Tritian. Alright, okay, well no one got that one, so anyway.
Well, we made it all pure movie references for today.
Mate, the memeage.
I'm
would
gonna
you?
I'm gonna slide away from that very quickly
STO.
into fucking hell, Mitch. Do you want to?
Sliding into Mitch. Okay.
Do you want to?
It's the derailed
I
stream.
swear to.
Oh, this is a funny meme.
Talk about your thing.
So, I stream on a channel called Lambent Rain, and that is me playing all kinds of games. Super lame. Those words rhymed. I also stream on twitch.tv/Natural Wonders on Mondays at 7 till 10 BST. We should be live tomorrow as long as everything is happy in the brain zone. It's me, Jay, Sam, and Ewan, plus a couple of other buddies, and it's super fun. So I hope I see some of you there.
Yes.
I look forward to
I
it.
can't wait.
Sam, do you want to talk about your thing?
Yes, Sam JKP on YouTube and Twitch. That is me.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I play a lot of Pokemon. Still, Pokemon Legends Arceus, Brilliant Diamonds, that kind of stuff. Also, I saw Pricky Pete was in the chat tonight. Thank you for the raid on Friday. Legend. Yeah, if you like Pokemon or watch my stream,
Hey, we
please.
just want to watch him poke some mons. Let's do it.
Yeah. Take the Mons and
Poke those mons. Consensually.
You're muted, by the way.
Elle,
Yes.
do you want to shout out, man?
Maya.
You want to be the one?
Mate, if you are like our lovely Maya, whose birthday is next week, give her some love. And you have a crippling gambling addiction, then go check out Animea. She plays Genshin. She does spooky, ooky, kooky games sometimes on Fridays. She's great. She's lovely. We all love her. You should love her as well. Go check out Animea. We love her to pieces. And it's her birthday. Go show her some love, please.
Yes. I suppose with that final shout out, we will say goodbye until the 8th of May.
Yes.
It's so long.
Perhaps in that time, before that game, we may have a one-on-one with Alistair. Hopefully,
Yes.
in that time.
Yes.
We can pray. So make sure to check out the Discord to keep updated about that for when that happens. But until then, we will see you in 2 weeks, on the 8th of May. Until then, stay dirty.